Greetings and salutations, and welcome to Flintlocks and Fireballs, where a handful of mad actors will attempt to survive the increasingly shadowy, but perhaps with just a hint of hope left in them, waters of Dungeons and Dragons. I am your host and Dungeon Master Jason Phelps, and I am joined as ever by Robbie Scorching Ray Bellekom, Sam Freezing Bay Burns, and Ellie Shocking Lay Sparrow.
Oh.
So I'm just bad in bed.
Ow!
That's all that's happening. The other two get magical powers, and I get disappointing sex.
No.
It could be shockingly good. You don't know.
Damage.
Oh, do I have to sleep with them, or do I just lay on them and they get lightning damage? Because that's quite funny.
The spell description is ambiguous.
Okay.
I don't have Scorching Ray, and I was initially annoyed. I was like, I don't have that spell, and then you carried on. I was like, no, I've got the better one here. No, I'm good.
Freezing Bay, yeah, no, it's...
Yeah, that's what happens when Jason doesn't prepare these gags ahead of time. So...
How often do they get prepared ahead of time?
About 2 out of 3 times, I want to say.
Really? That often?
Yeah.
So a 66% average.
Yeah. So that doesn't necessarily mean that 66% of them are good, but
That's very true.
okay. So one quick announcement from the past, actually, before we go to future announcements from the present.
My brain hurts.
Yes, I know. From this episode onwards, I'll be adding to my really Kevin MacLeod stuffed playlist the works of Mark V.D. Newlin, who has graciously given us permission to incorporate some of his dark orchestral tracks. So
Yay,
thanks,
thank
Mark.
you, Mark.
Yay!
Hey.
He was very nice in the emails as well.
Yeah.
He was lovely.
So those will almost certainly show up this episode and in future ones as the circumstances permit. Unless in a very strange quirk of circumstance we just have this continuously for the entire episode.
If we do, I'm leaving this podcast.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And Robbie is too.
I will go crazy.
So, on the note of cheerful, never-ending
Please turn that off
music,
for the previously on. I'm so horrified.
it's time for some messages from the present from future us. Hello, it's future Jason with messages from the present. First of all, a quick correction to past me who didn't understand that V/D stands for Vander when it's written down. So I'd like to thank Mark Vandermeulen for allowing us to use a number of his tracks from this episode onwards. Thanks, Mark. It really adds a great deal to the show to include your gothic orchestral music, and anyone who'd like to check out more of his work, I encourage to check out markvdmeulen.com, and that's Mark with a C, and Meulen spelt M-E-U-L-E-N. Next, I'd like to talk about our continuing newest sponsor, Libris Arcana. Libris Arcana offers monthly or quarterly dice subscriptions, so if you head over to librisarcana.com, then for less than $12, just under £9, you can receive a set of 7 premium dice and 3 randomly selected bonus dice every month to sate the will of the die-hungry beast below. This month's dice set is American Pie. The American pie was invented during the late 18th century, following the Declaration of Independence. Ernest B. Pythagoras, an American scientist and iconoclast, felt that it was important to escape the Eurocentric traditions that defined mathematics, as part of the same drive for American independence in culture as in politics that drove Webster to start removing vowels at random from English words when he put them into his dictionary. The American pie is a neat, round 3.14 with no extraneous digits. Circles constructed under the American pie were generally considered to be smoother, rounder, and more aesthetically pleasing than the traditional English circle built using Archimedes' pie, which most revolutionary colonists considered to be a very irrational number. The American pie enjoyed a brief surge of popularity between 1786 to 1791, where it was used in everything from cartwheels to clock faces to bakery products. Unfortunately, there were key instabilities that did build up over time, resulting in the Arkansas collapse, when the majority of what was once a state on par with Texas fell through the numerous cracks in reality caused by cutting corners on circle construction. The entire Golden State Forest and the city of Great Rock were pulled out of history and dumped into mythology, along with a large number of settler colonies. So, in 1792, Congress agreed to ban the American pie in everyday construction and mathematics, although a consortium of bakers did successfully lobby to allow it to be continued to be used in pastry products, where it survives to this very day. Libris Arcana, monthly dice, and occasionally alternate history. Additionally, listen up for a spot from our friends over at Party Advantage during the break. This week on Robbie Watch, Robbie will be in Guildford. Guildford is named after the time that a sorcerer conjured a golden bridge across the nearby River Wey, a gilt ford, if you will. The bridge was immediately melted down to pay off King Richard's enormous ransom during the Crusades. Ellie's company, Break the Verse, is producing their latest play, Schrodinger's Dog, about a man who wants to kill himself and accidentally takes 7 people hostage, all of whom have the potential to save or destroy him. The show will be on at the White Bear in London, 23rd of October to 3rd November, 7:30 each night, 2:30 matinees on the Saturdays. You can book tickets at whitebeartheatre.co.uk. In related news, Ellie is exhausted all the time. Putting on plays is hard. We're also going to London MCM Comic Con on Sunday the 28th of October. We're not guests, we're just there for fun. So come over, if you spot us, we'd love to chat. If you want to summon us, try loudly singing the theme tune and we may assemble. Right, that's it. Whatever disturbing thing you're going to say next past me, on you go. Future us may have many things going for them, but they don't have this.
I'm going to bed now.
Yes. I have to ration that track so carefully.
Yeah. For reference, Jason has done some terrifying things in off-air D&D with that track, so me and Robbie get a bit twitchy whenever it's on.
Oh, okay. This is stories I don't know.
He had a little band of demons.
Little dretches.
Little dretches dressed in like military outfits playing that song, little like bandstand
like a marching band.
Yeah, and we were
that
basically
sounds kind of adorable.
Yeah, but we were basically in like Psycho Butlins that was run by a clown with needles for teeth.
Okay.
So,
Suddenly this took a turn for the coulrophobic.
Yeah. So that's what me and Robbie think of when we hear this song, Clowns with Needles for Teeth.
Dear listeners, if you would like to know more about clowns for teeth...
Clowns for teeth? I don't want to think about that. Let's play D&D. Please stop.
Okay, and on that terrifying note, it's time for Flintlocks and Fireballs. Our land stands on the sabre's edge.
Our cities are a powder keg.
Brother chains, brother, no one's free. A life on land is short, you'll see.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.
Previously on Flintlocks and Fireballs. The party have continued for some time now through the city of Crosswater, working hard to gather what resistance they can against the results of the shadow bomb that Corzin unwittingly carried into the city. Thus far they've been able to stem the tide, but with each passing night the threat grows larger. Enlisting the aid of Vera, their erstwhile acquaintance, who seems to be pursuing her own nebulous motives, the gnome in question has agreed to help them out clearing one more nest, although after that she has sworn to disappear back to her own mysterious ways. too exhausted and depleted of resources to be able to engage the nest that they discovered in the old textiles mill near back down in I believe it was the Weaver's Ward. Yep, here we go. The party were forced to rest, but they do know that they have a few more tricks up their sleeves, and in exchange for promising a future favour to be repaid with a theft to the sculptor, they've also been given the aid of 4 local thugs who are prepared to risk their lives taking the fight to the Shadow's nests themselves. The 3 of you arise well over an hour, I'd say probably closer to an hour and a half before dawn. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning on the 29th of Falling Leaves. As you awaken from your room that was provided at the top of the brass lantern, you make your way unsteadily downstairs where, knowing of your task, Mordecai, aka John Smith, the innkeep, has prepared a quick but filling breakfast of oatmeal for you. You can see that the 4 rough individuals that were waiting for you before are still there. They appear to have been quietly drinking throughout the night. They don't appear drunk, just seem to have been stealing their nerves. As you approach, one of them looks up to you and nods. A fellow with a thick, bushy, untamed sort of moustache. Right. Looks like we'll be heading with you. Name's Rusty, he says. This is Shaz. He nods to a female, all of them are human, a female human with short, impeccably styled hair. Knuckles. He nods to a bald man with, indeed, a pair of brass knuckles, although he has a musket at his back, and one very prominent gold tooth, and spoons. And he nods to a lady who is fairly unremarkable in her appearance, except for the fact that she has 6 gold earrings, 3 studded into each ear.
Are they spoons?
Are they? I was going to say, is she wearing spoons anywhere on her?
No, but you can see on her sleeves are rolled up, and on both of her forearms are tattooed what appear to be baking spoons, like sort of
Right.
mixing bowl spoons.
That's weirdly ominous, I don't know why. I put out a hand with a flourish. Celestia Stardust, nice to meet you.
Right, Rusty takes your hand and basically crunches your knuckles.
I pass off the shaking of my hand in pain as a sort of weird bard flourish.
So, we going straight there, or is there anything else you guys need to do?
We need to go to the cleric, don't we?
I think we've already been, haven't we?
No,
we need to go. He said that he'd have us round at 5 in the morning.
Ah, right, fine. Okay, that's...
I wonder how many people he can do. Could he do any of these guys?
I think he said 3.
No, that's a shame.
Otherwise he could have done us again.
On the way...
You see Rusty and Shaz kind of look sidelong to each other as you mention this in front of them.
That was probably not the best idea.
True. But I've said it now.
Look, we're here to kill weird shadow things, you know. And
I can give you a boost later, don't worry.
Right.
On the way there, can I smoke some opium? Is that
yes,
allowed?
yes, you can.
Cool.
In fact, you can count this as having smoked it the night before and give yourself...
Cracking. It's my last one, but I think it's a good time to have
so
it.
So give me an addiction check as well.
Yeah, I'm just going to roll my hit points. Fucking hell, only 3. It's bollocks. And addiction. So addicted.
Okay. What was your addiction counter previously? I think it was...
I think it's at 0 currently.
Okay, so it's back up to 1.
Yeah, back up to 1. It seemed to bounces from 1 back down again.
1 0 1 0.
Just
yeah. The good news is, you know, having done it during your long rest, you do at least have all of your hit dice back.
Yes, this is true.
Just remind me, what is the high end of that?
10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Goes all the way up to 10.
Goes all the way up to 10.
Are you sure it
10
doesn't go
is-
up to 11?
Hey.
Hey, yeah, no, like above 7 is very bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And fun fact, it actually gets harder to shrug off the addiction the more addicted you get.
Yeah.
Which
Like-
is, the way addictions work.
Just
I'm
like
gonna-
real life!
I'm going to turn to the other two and sort of quietly, so that hopefully the thugs can't hear, go, shall we tell them we'll meet them at the place so that they don't know where to find the cleric?
I mean, he's pretty well known. It's not like it's a secret.
Yeah, and
True, but
ultimately...
I haven't said which one it is, I've just said the cleric.
True. Does it need to be a secret?
I don't know. How shifty did they look when I said it?
You were whispering. They're kind of busy checking over their weapons, making sure that they're properly.
Maybe just in case they bother him for, like, magical stuff. I
Look,
don't
as
know.
tactless as you have been, they're here for guard duty, essentially. They know
True.
the score.
And hey, might not be a problem by tomorrow. That was grim, I'm sorry. Right, let's go to the cleric.
Corzin,
your,
1,000-yard stare.
With your 4 trusty thugs in following after you in a trail, you head out the short distance up towards the Iron Ward and the Church of St. Bridget. In the distance, you can still hear the occasional sounds of screams and gunfire.
I'm going to cast Mage Armour.
Okay.
Good.
Making your way to the church, which is small but well decorated. There's a lot of statues and decorative features in the facades. You knock on the door, and a kind of waif-like halfling nun opens it and goes, you'll be here to see Victor. Come, Father Fass, I should say. And she shows you into a side room where, dressed in a simple robe, it looks like he's literally just gotten out of bed, thrown on his vestments. There is the orcish figure of Victor Fass. So, I am glad to see that you are prepared. He looks at the 4 guards that you've left sort of slightly outside. I regret that I only have enough to bless the 3 of you. Voice, you notice, is a little sore in the mornings, which might explain why it seems to have more of a Meadmerish accent during the morning, and then more of a classical orcish one later in the day. Definitely not, but yes, absolutely, that's why.
I personally always wake up speaking
Yes.
in a Scottish accent, so I
Yes.
identify with this problem.
Yes. So,
Mixed parentage.
Victor takes out a small symbol of a dancing figure from and sort of touches chest, neck, mouth, lips, nose, forehead, blessing of the regent.
Shoulders, knees, and no, not that one.
He gives you a stern look, but carries on.
I'm a dwarf.
Celestia silently shakes for the rest of the blessing, trying not to giggle.
In the name of the regent of St. Bridget and all of the saints, may they guard you against any dangers you may encounter, and keep your souls from the brink. And he repeats this for each of you. I regret there is little more that I can freely give you. I am allowed to sell you any holy water, additional holy water, if you wish.
How much is that, just out of interest?
At cost, it is 25 gold crowns per flask.
Done.
No, not for me, thank you.
Okay.
I'll take another one.
Okay. He snaps his fingers, and the nun sort of nods and fetches you a small clay flask, which she passes to you.
Okay,
How much
25
did
gold
we have?
pieces.
2 each.
Yeah,
Two
yeah, because you guys got 6, which you haven't used yet.
Did not write it down.
You may wish to do so.
Yeah. Damn.
And yes,
We
those...
have
Neither
2
was
each,
some,
but
but
now
I
I
forgot
now
to
have
check.
3.
Yeah, those have, I think, a 20-foot range if thrown, and...
Touch if poured.
Yeah, touch of port. It's either way. It's a dex-based throwing attack and ranged attack, and they do 2d6 radiant damage to undead and fiends only.
Cool.
Question. If we were to wet our blades with this, would it make any difference?
It's oil, isn't it? There is holy oil.
No, we do have a couple of vials of holy oil, but those are about twice as expensive. And he gives you a bit of description. You realise functionally they work pretty similarly to the beast oil that you got from Jimothy, although they seem to have a slightly different
Right, fair enough.
option. He does have a couple of vials of that if you want to buy them, but
That wasn't necessarily in character. I was just asking generally, but
generally no. Holy water is too diffuse. I mean,
It wouldn't stay on. I
no,
guess.
maybe if you had
Yeah.
some sort of steam gun and then fired superheated holy steam at them.
That would be really fun. But,
But not
if this were a
immediately available.
steampunk setting, I would be totally down for that.
Campaign 2!
yes, I'd love that. That'd be great.
Oh, I'd love to do a steampunk one.
Steampunk Calcinea as well would be really interesting. Anyway,
Steam engines exist, but they're mostly used for pumping mines. And indeed running textile mills.
oh, cool.
Because the steam engine...
Like the real world.
Yeah, the steam engine was invented in the 1770s, I think, 1760s. So, if you don't count the time that the Romans made it.
Well, like you said in episode 1, the age of steam has not yet
Yes.
fully arrived.
Yeah. It's on.
Anyway, we digress.
But yes, we digress. So yes, no, that's the only options that Victor can provide for you there.
Great.
Okay, if there's anything else I can do, please ask. Otherwise, may the Regent and all of the saints be with you.
Thank you.
He gives you a nod.
I have a funny feeling we're going to need it.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. You make your way back into the Weaver's Ward, heading to the Villeneuve Fabric Mill. The distant sounds of the occasional scream, sometime gunfire coming 5-6 shots at a time. It sounds like that's the work of militia groups patrolling the town, but a lot of them seem quite focused in the area, in this sort of quarter of the city, the whole area around Spinner's End, Weaver's Ward, and Cyprus. You've not heard much coming from, say, over in the Warrens or Olympia's Nest. It seems that your work clearing out the previous nests has borne fruit for all the chaos that is being sown here. As you make your way back to the mill, you look up to one of the buildings opposite where Vera had been keeping watch, and you do see a crouched gnomish figure who seems to twig your arrival and proceeds to abseil down on a grappling hook from her perch. Folds it up, wraps it around her waist, and Vera comes out to meet you. You can see that she has at her back, she's now holding her composite bow, but she has at her back a quiver full of fletched arrows. I see you've brought some help then.
Yes, I hope that's all right.
Not a problem. I've been keeping an eye on them. What I'm looking for hasn't emerged yet, but they've started to come back. I saw 13 go out. 12 have come back thus far. I
Are
imagine...
they the same 12? Are they 12 of that 13, or are some of those new?
Couldn't tell. Too dark. I just know that 12 have come back, and I imagine that more will be coming.
Yes,
Did
probably.
any of them look like me?
Let me just roll a quick perception check for... Aye, one of them.
I love how she doesn't
Right.
question this, like, at all. That's really interesting. Okay, good to know.
Right.
I'm gonna... Should Shall I rub some potion in my eyes? With the invisibility thing that she gave us.
Are
But
these
they're not
things
invisible,
usually
that's like-
invisible?
No.
I thought it helped if they're going to melt into shadows and try and hide from us. I'd be able to see them.
They're not technically...
Out of character, let's talk about
No.
this potion was, like,
When
seriously.
these guys vanished before, it was because when you were fighting in the grain silo, they had lots of places to hide because there were all the sacks of grain, and they can hide because they can squash themselves an inch thick. If need be, they could hide in sacks of grain and so they had lots of cover there.
Okay.
But your ability to see what made it harder for them to hide wasn't being able to counteract invisibility. It's that you lined them in fairy fire, which I ruled at the time made it harder for them to hide because they are literally glowing purple.
Yeah. I've still got that, so that can still be really useful.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't do that. Awesome.
Vera's going to turn to you. Now, there's one little trick I can lay upon you, and she nods to Corzin, and you remember that she described what was essentially the protection against evil and good spell. But I can only lay that on one of you, and it'll last for as long as something doesn't break my concentration. So, who do you want me to protect of the three of you?
Scamp.
Yeah, Scamp.
Celestia.
Darling, you got touched by them.
More easily,
I know, but you got touched by them like twice and you were nearly dead.
But we've got that resistance thing now. I can
That's
take
only
a lot more
if
hits
we
than
die.
you.
True, but you're smaller. We should put it on you.
Well, I'm going to need a decision from you.
I don't know.
For once, just don't argue with a Scamp.
Fine.
All right. She reaches out and touches you on the shoulder, Scamp. And Celestia and Corzin, you see slithering out of the arms of her duster is what looks almost like a sort of vibrantly purple, maybe even heliotrope scaled dragon, about a foot long, with what look like dragonfly wings instead of sort of dragon wings, and you can. And based on Scamp's lack of reaction to it appearing and that of the thugs nearby, you definitely get the feeling that this is a spirit. The dragon, the fly dragon, for want of a better word,
Oh, I like that.
curls its tail around Scamp's arm for a moment, and Scamp, you feel a strange sort of protection lay around you. Not dissimilar to the sense of protection you felt when you had the death ward placed upon you, but subtly different. The fly dragon then uncoils and retreats back into Vera's duster. So, for as long as Vera can maintain concentration, on aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead have disadvantage on attack rolls against you, Scamp. You cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
Okay.
Cool. Okay, so
I would like to drink one of those potions of resist necrotic, please.
okay,
Before we go in.
Yeah, I'm going to down one just before we go in as well.
okay. Corzin, are you doing the same?
Yes.
Okay. You actually see that Vera pulls something from one of her pockets, which looks, when from the little bit of inky liquid you can see as, between it going from the bottle into her mouth, appears to be something quite similar, very possibly the same substance. It seems she is hearing of what you're likely to be facing, has come prepared, or at least managed to find something to do the job.
Oh, I feel so bad for our hired hands.
Yeah.
No.
So we're doing all this magic,
shit.
downing our
No,
potions.
hang on. There's one other thing I can do. Before I go in, I'm gonna go. Okay, everybody, come here. I'm gonna gather everyone in like a football huddle.
Yeah.
You know, like a circle where we're all sort of clasping.
Yeah.
All scrum together.
And I'm gonna go. Okay, gang, get ready. We've got this. And the rainbow spirit is gonna flare out of my hair, And I'm going to give everybody 5 temporary hit points with my Mantle of
Yay.
Inspiration.
Yeah,
So 5 for all,
yeah,
including Vera.
you've successfully added an extra 50% of the thug's hit points.
Oh, wow!
Why did we bring them?
Shit!
No,
Extra
seriously,
fucking
you've upgraded
targets.
their effective.
You
You've upgraded their effective
survivability.
operational lifespan.
God.
They might last 3 turns now.
Shut up. That's not good to know. I didn't want to know that.
No, these guys could be surprisingly helpful. Okay, so you can. By the way, unless you give these guys specific commands, they will just operate on their own initiative. Like they will just do whatever they think is wisest to do, which will probably default to trying to keep themselves alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Okay, so you are once again in front of the Villeneuve Fabric Mill. It is, as mentioned, a 3-story building. You have already done a degree of scouting into the ground floor, first floor, and second floor. You know that as a quick reminder, just of information you've already found, you know that there is a stairwell up in the north western corner, but it is treacherous. You remember that on the second story, so the first floor, there is a foreman's chamber, and that on the second floor the second floor, which is to say the third story. God damn it! I might just settle on stories for sanity here. On the third story, there is the whole place has been not quite blacked out, but it seems like grime has covered the windows from the inside, and it's hard to see what's in there. You know that there's something in the centre, and that there are at least 6 large pieces of industrial, textiles equipment. Essentially just looms.
Mm-hmm. I've done some extremely vague drawings of this from last time, if either of you would like me to send them to you.
Please.
They're really vague,
Yeah.
but they might at least help you get your brain straight.
Yeah.
So let me send those on the chat. They've at least got like where the stairs are and where the office is and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Would you, for the sake of completeness, be able to include this on the website or such?
I mean, I can do. They're really not very good. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll make a note, and possibly this is a possibly. I may be able to do a diagram for on the website. So note.
Yeah, mine are literally boxes with other boxes in. So, listeners, if we don't do that, you're not missing much by not
Yeah.
seeing my drawings.
Okay. So, how do you want to proceed?
Stealthily.
Very stealthily.
Okay. Stealthily, fair enough.
Can I put my shit cloak on
Yes.
so that I get rid of the disadvantage?
Yes.
Is that okay?
Yeah. You cover up your strikingly white clothes.
Yes, because I'm not a complete fucking idiot. However, I might like acting like one.
Okay.
Well, if they seem to be nesting on the 3rd floor, can we scale the walls and go in through a skylight?
You haven't.
Well, something's on
You've
the top.
seen the roof from the ground floor. You know that there aren't skylights. There are third story windows. They are quite narrow, and you would need to break through them.
I'm going to say this in character because I think it's more fun. I think it might be worth checking all the floors.
I think clearing it as we go is probably.
All right then.
Yeah.
I'd say the big bad's at the top, but.
I mean, if they've
There's
darked
stuff
it
on
up,
it.
that's probably where all the bad stuff's going to be. Oh, although they've only darked it up with dirt, and I do have that handy cleaning spell thing. So that could be helpful.
But you could only do one window at a time, and we have to be inside, don't we?
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
I mean,
established
it
you need
could
a
at
line of
least get us
effect.
some light. It would be a start.
That's a good thing to think of for when we're up there.
Yeah.
But for now, I think, we're right. We've got to go in on the ground floor and
work our way up.
Okay.
work our way up.
I'm going to set now that there are 35 minutes to dawn.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So you just because of the time it took to get here to do other things to prepare, you have 35 minutes till dawn.
Okay.
Which, depending on how you play things, may or may not factor into your plans.
I mean, that might be good, because the thing is, when it's dawn, more of them are going to come back. So because we're here before dawn, we might be able to take out some of them.
But the thing
then-
upstairs,
Yeah.
we have to get that thing before dawn, which means we don't have time to rest at any point.
Yeah, we really don't.
We've got to keep going.
I mean, should we just go straight up to the top and then worry about the rest later?
I think the best of both worlds here is going to be that we make sure that by dawn, those shadows, at the very least, do not have a place to come back to.
But they'll go somewhere else and then we can't find them. It's better that they can come back here and we can do it.
Yeah.
True enough, I suppose.
I think we try and take out the big thing and as many as we can of the shadows before they come back. And then when they do come back, hopefully we don't have to fight them all at once, because we'll have taken some out already.
Alright,
Alright.
let's do this.
So, how do you want to enter?
Stealthily.
So, by what means do you wish to enter the building?
Is there a door?
Yes, there's a front door. I'm just wondering, do you want to go in the front door, or are you planning to scale the walls, or...
Are there any other doors besides that one?
There are no other doors that you've seen besides that one.
Fuck it, let's go through that
Yes,
one.
that's our option then.
Okay. You try the front doorway. It is unlocked. The two-door...
Stealth.
Yeah, can I have stealth checks from all of you, please?
Oh, that's not actually bad for me.
Where's my new dice? New dice.
Okay, that's a 16.
Ooh.
13.
17.
Okay. Do one for Vera.
New dice, who dis?
Why have you started laughing when you rolled for Vera?
And the thugs.
It's either really, really good or really, really bad.
Which?
It's going to be really,
It's
really
going to
bad.
be really bad.
Well, the thugs got a 19.
Did Vera roll a 1?
Wow.
Yeah. As you come in, okay, so you push the doors open. There is they open with very little sound, just a sort of... And inside you can see there is a wide open space. I said before it's about 50 feet from east to west, 30 feet from south to north. There are a large series of bales of just old fabric piled in the south eastern corner. There's a heavy crate in the northeastern corner. To the northwest, there are the stairs, and there are about 6 heavy, essentially industrial looms spaced evenly about the chamber. Everything is covered in a thin layer of dust, but there are, as far as you can see, no shadows springing out to catch you.
Can I try and spot some that aren't?
Yes.
Can we have a look?
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
Okay.
Certainly none have just hit your passive perception.
Natural 20,
Well, I got a 15, but I feel like that's irrelevant next to the natural 20.
Okay.
which with my modifier becomes a 20.
Scanning the room
perceptive.
carefully, you feel like no. You feel confident that there are no shadows on this floor.
Nothing here.
I say quietly, but hopefully so that everyone can hear it. Right. Everybody who has the ability to make light of any kind, have it ready.
Yeah, I mean, don't do it straight away, I'd say. Element of surprise and all that, but yes, you're quite right, have it ready.
Okay. Shaz takes out a hooded lantern, hooks it to her belt, and gets ready to light the oil wick inside when the time
Just
is right.
in case this is needed as reference, I'm readying a dancing light spell.
Okay.
I've got my torch out. Not lit, but out.
Out and ready.
Cool.
Is that the
My
magic torch? Excellent.
What was the magic torch?
It can't be put out just
Oh,
by-
that one, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
that one.
And
And it won't run out.
yeah, it never runs out.
If I shoot a firebolt and it goes through it, can I light it that way?
Yeah, for rule of coolness, that's fine.
For drama.
Yeah, I'll let you light it at like.
So that's not going to be my primary attack, but I could combine an attack and a lighting that way.
Yeah, I mean, like classically, like lighting a torch is a bonus action. So as long as you,
Oh, right,
as long as
never
you,
mind, I've got bonus actions to spare.
yeah, as long as you spend the bonus action, holding the torch up whilst you're firebolting past it, that's fine. Okay, you're looking around. How do you want to proceed? Up the stairs or any other way?
Stealthily.
I mean, yes,
Stealthily up the stairs?
Stealth check still.
Up the
Okay.
stairs.
I hate that there's nothing on the first floor.
Yep.
It's really creeping me out.
Okay, the 8 of you proceed to creep stealthily, making your way up towards the stairs. As you do so,
Oh god, that music.
About
The
halfway-
violin.
That music is
Oh,
awful.
you're
I
about
love it.
halfway up the steps when crack!
Oh no!
Vera's foot just goes through a step. Nothing else happens.
Ow! You're so tiny.
I thought gnomes were supposed to be sneaky.
Shit. Sorry.
Well, that's racist.
What?
She awkwardly removes her foot. She seems uninjured, but that, it produced a ridiculously loud noise. Yeah, Vera rolled a natural 1 in her stealth check.
I like how you held the natural one until it was most annoying.
However, ascending up to the second story,
I'm gonna say that the surprise is gone and maybe light would be better.
Yeah, I think that sounded a little bit like somebody let a gun off. I give Vera a look. So maybe we should just light the place up. Yeah.
Shaz lights the her oil lantern and which is now just exuding it's mirrored, so it's exuding a cone of dim orange light.
I do a very soft boing on my guitar, and 4 balls of light fly out and
Gonna
surround
light the
us.
torch.
Purple light, obviously,
Yep.
as always.
Burning without smoke or scent. Curiously, the old stick bursts into a nice strong yellow flame. It is still putting your hand near it just to check. Yeah, it is actually a hot flame. It just doesn't feel like it's necessarily burning anything.
Do I need both hands to cast? Or can
One
I-
hand, one free hand is the
One
rule.
hand friend. Okay, so I don't, because I can always ask a friend to carry it for me
Oh,
if I need to. I was thinking, but if I've got one hand free, that's fine.
yeah. It's also
It's like a Minecraft torch.
just never goes out.
Yeah, it is.
Never fill.
Oh, I haven't played Minecraft in so long.
Never fills your hallways with thick cloying smoke either.
I've literally never questioned that in Minecraft, and I've just realised. I've never thought about it.
The fact that they are that they're perpetual, that they break the. I mean, of all the things in Minecraft to break the laws of thermodynamics. But anyway,
The floating trees are the best.
Yeah.
But anyway.
so moving up to the second story, you go up the stairs. These are switchback steps. So you pause at the landing. There is a route up to the third story as well. But looking out, you can see, again, there is just... This space is much more empty looking. In the southwestern corner, there is a huge pile of molding wool. Not spun wool either, just fresh sheep's wool. But again, 6 equidistant machines. These seem to be industrial machines to do with actually spinning thread into wool rather than the looms below. And in the northeastern corner, you can see that partitioned off there with cheap wooden siding is the supervisor's office with a cheap wooden door.
Do we
Nothing
see
else
anything
happens.
else?
Let's look for shadows again.
Still looking.
Yeah, perception check.
Oh, the same check exactly. Another. Oh no, more actually. Nope, less. 15. I can't count. Ignore me.
8.
Oh.
That's a 23 from me.
Okay. Gonna think about how to say this. Looking around, Corzin, you can't see any sign of shadows here. And shadows are notoriously silent. but you can feel like, I haven't really described this yet, but and I will actually. As you were walking your way through the streets tonight, it's been dry. There's been no rain, but it has been like winter. It feels like winter has come. It has finally started to arrive. It has been bone-chillingly cold, and the winds are high, and it's like, where they've touched your skin, it's been they've been cutting through your flesh to your bones. You are indoors. There is no wind here, except that for a small amount it is just sort of whistling through that one hole in one of the windows. But as you get further up Corzin, everything feels colder. And you can feel that same sort of chill in your bones. And it definitely feels like it's coming from above. And you can hear something sort of like a... just a strange, just below your conscious hearing, sound reverberating from the floor above.
I say to the others, can everyone else hear that?
Hear what?
Now that it's been pointed out to you, you listen for it and you can just hear that strange... and you hear...
I wish I couldn't.
Vera whispers, "Yeah, we're in the right place. I'm going to give you a piece of advice. When we get up there, don't look directly into it."
What do you mean? Does it
hell
have
are we dealing
eyes?
with
Are we
here,
looking?
Vera?
Are we not looking into its eyes?
No. When it comes out, it'll be fine to look at it. But the place it comes from, don't spend too long looking into it.
Wait, what is it?
It's a hole in the world.
Right.
Merciful Regent.
Well, fuck.
Well, I'm here to close it. So let's get on with it then. Okay. You're going to look at the supervisor's room.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Working your way across, the floorboards just creak.
I'd like to be moving light into every possible corner
Yeah,
while we're
you are
moving.
just
Like
filling this
lighting up
room
everything.
with light. As you're going, Shaz is sort of turning the hooded lantern on her waist. All four of the thugs have their muskets out and ready as well.
Can I open the door from a distance with thaumaturgy?
That's not actually a bad idea.
The door slams open.
Not loudly.
Because-
Not loudly. It just says open, doesn't it? Oh no, it says
Yeah.
Shit.
The door slams open.
It's alright.
I turn to Scamp and I go, "Don't worry, everybody already heard Vera anyway."
Vera sort of
Catty.
coughs quietly.
Sorry.
She does, however,
Didn't mean it.
draw an arrow and just gently knocks it to the bowstring, just keeping it ready. Okay, the door slams open. A small cloud of dust rises from the floor nearby. Nothing emerges from the room.
Can I take a second to coat my rapier in oil, or are we too late?
No. Combat has not
I'm
started
going
as far as
to
you're
do
aware.
that because I think I might try and save spells for the big thing.
Okay. You coat your rapier with the beast oil. So your rapier attacks and does damage at +1 and can affect shadows normally.
So +1 to normal damage.
Normal damage and attack. Essentially,
cool.
for an hour, it makes it a +1 weapon.
Fab.
Yeah.
And also,
Okay,
yeah,
I
double
think
damage.
I might.
Yeah.
I think I might have Corzin do that with the other sword that he has
Okay.
that isn't
Yeah, isn't
Ghost.
death.
dishonor.
Okay.
Ghost oil.
Yeah, you coat your weapons. Vera doesn't do anything like this, but she seems confident in the use of her arrows. And you notice as she's drawn the arrow out, the tip of the arrowhead appears to be made from slightly crude glass rather than steel.
Interesting.
Is it obsidian?
No, it appears to be just a sort of clearish glass. So, You move carefully around, keeping a fair distance from the door, ready to attack. But within you see there is a small overseer's desk and chair, a filing cabinet, and a hole in the ceiling from which a knotted rope has been draped.
Ooh. Oh, this is so ominous. I hate it. Actually, the stairs are broken up to the 3rd floor. So we could use this.
That's probably the only way in or out.
I mean, unless we get...
Let's make absolutely sure of that, though, before we use
Unless
it.
we use my climber's kit to go up what used to be the stairs. You could get on my back, I could climb up, and then we could pull everybody else up.
Yeah, looking over at the stairs, you can see that while they might look functional at first glance, someone or something has sawed away parts of the support so that any amount of actual weight would cause them to collapse.
Saints, damn it, that's my trick.
It occurs to you, Corzin, that there is something that at least looks very much like you here.
Oh dear.
Right.
Grim.
That's very upsetting. So...
Well, that answers us another important question, then. Is, do any of these shadows retain any of the knowledge that they had in life?
The answer is now at least a little bit, isn't it?
I think they probably retain some of the behaviour. Like the little girl was skipping,
Yeah,
the old man had the hunch still.
True, maybe it's habits rather than actual, memories or anything. They don't seem to be intelligent enough to have proper memories.
We can discuss this later when they're
We
all
can, let's go and kill some
dead.
stuff.
He says dead, kind of unsure.
Yeah. So, how are you proceeding then? You're going up. You're planning to go up the rope.
I do feel a little bit funny about taking the same route that the shadows have taken because I feel like they'll be all looking at it when we get up there. I could be being paranoid though. That could not be a thing.
Just
It's
because you're
also
paranoid,
very
just
much
yeah.
a one at a time thing. We don't want to be going up one after the other, surely.
Not really, no.
It's a choke point. That's not good.
Send up some of your light first.
Yes. Okay, what if...
Send one up the rope.
Yeah. Pew!
One
Okay.
up the rope and one with us.
The light goes up the
It's pretty
rope.
distracting.
The light flies up the rope and it hovers gently up at the top. You can see that the whole... You can't make up much of the room above because, of your limited viewpoint, but you can see the ceiling at least above. It just follows the arch of the roof, and it looks as if all of the wooden beams, the walls, and everything are just covered in dull black grime. And actually, I'd like you to make a wisdom check. Anyone who wants to.
Lol, go on then.
Will do.
Oh, mate.
14.
5.
12.
Corzin and Scamp. Looking at it, this looks less like... There's a part of you that immediately assumes, okay, this is the decay from so many shadows present, but looking at it, no. It looks more as if something has taken a bucket of dirty water and just splashed it across the surfaces. Probably with a mind to blocking out light.
Right.
Creepy.
Well, it's very practical.
Yeah.
Disturbingly practical, actually.
Can we
Yep.
clear this off?
I can only do it within 10 foot, darling.
Yeah, you need to be up there, and you can't clearly see a window from beneath where you are.
Yeah. Also, I imagine it's
Right.
too high. It's going to be more than 10 feet.
It's more than 10
a
feet because
floor up,
you could just about clean the ceiling of the floor you're on.
What if I climbed a little way up the rope and then tried to clean it?
You could clean a bit of wall, maybe. It depends on what you'd be able
Can't
to
see
see.
any windows though.
Yeah.
Can I?
Also, you can see through the windows on this level, especially the hole in one window, and it's still a good 30 minutes to dawn.
Okay.
Alright, if it comes to it, we'll just have to break them.
Yeah, we can do that.
But there's no rush. It's not exactly light outside.
Getting there, though. Right.
This is where I really start to wish that I'd taken the shatter spell. That would have been a really good decision. I didn't, though, unfortunately. So,
Should we try the stairs, but leave one of the lights up there?
yeah, I mean, I guess if I put some pythons up the wall, we can all climb up them. Would that work, DM? Out of character? Not in Celestia voice for a second.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Like, if you spread all your pythons out and, Vera has a couple of her own that she can supply, you guys could essentially try and climb up the part of the... Essentially, like, climbing up the side of the staircase and avoiding the bit that has been sabotaged.
And it would be quicker.
It would be... Yeah, I'd allow it 4 of you to get up at a time. You'd each have to make an athletics check.
Cool. Should we do that, then?
Only one of you can wear the climbing harness, though. So only one of you gets advantage on that check.
Yeah,
Have that be the first person so they can help other people as they go up.
Like I say, 4 of you can go up at a time. So you could all go up and then have the minions follow, or if you wanted to be dicks, you could send the minions up first.
What if, this is a logistic question, what if I put Corzin on my back and we went up together?
I guess, yeah, you could take a 5th person up then, because Corzin is small enough. I would need
Because I feel like it's stupid to
yeah.
send one person up on their own, but it is my climber's kit, so it makes sense that I would be the one
Okay, yeah,
doing it.
I would.
And I'd have doubtless the lightest person.
Also, you'll be the best at pulling people up because you're fucking
I would
strong.
still have Corzin make an athletics check to hold on, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I would get my normal
That's fine.
advantage, or would that fuck me? Like...
I'd say I'd allow it. No, I'll let you do the advantage, but I'll probably raise the DC by 2 because of the extra weight.
Yeah, fair. So I turn to Corzin.
Bear in mind that because of the width of the staircase, even with you going up this oblique way, 4 of you can go up. Well, 5 with Corzin on your back. So, are you going to send the 4 of you and maybe Rusty or Shaz up for?
That sound good,
in the
guys?
first wave.
Sounds smart.
Yep.
Alright, let's do this. I crouch all the way down. Corzin, jump on.
Alright, well, I never thought this was going to be big on dignity, but...
It's alright, you look really cute. Come on. He's gonna kill me.
Daggers.
It's alright, you're on my back. I can't fucking see the daggers. I'm gonna roll my athletics check. Natural 20, bitch.
Oh. Okay.
Right. And athletics for everyone else going up?
Okay, that was a 9 for me. I rolled very badly.
I'll get to you. Yeah, as you're working your way up, Celestia, you're easily making your way up these pythons. You look back, and Corzin has you left up a little bit too early, and Corzin hadn't quite managed to get his grip. So you managed to grab his arm and pull him a little tighter around you before you make your way up. Okay, Scamp.
11.
Okay, that's fine. Like these, it's enough with the pythons clearly hammered into place. You guys had long since given up trying to be very stealthy about this.
We're doing this really quietly. Hammer.
Vera skillfully just sort of climbs up like a monkey. Rusty tries to get up, but one of the pythons falls out and he plumps to the ground. So he, Shaz, Knuckles, and Spoons will come up on the next round. Speaking of rounds, so the four of you, Corzin and Celestia's back, clamber up to the top of the stairwell. Looking around at the 3rd floor, this whole, as I said, all of the walls and mirrors, and windows have been coated in thin black grime, like they've been splashed there to provide obfuscation. But the presence of this many shadows has affected this place, and maybe something else as well. The wood of the floorboards, of the support beams, seems twisted and warped in places, as if it's been exposed to the elements. The 6 heavy looms that are in the room are covered in far more dust and actually what looks like mold and rot, which shouldn't, and rust all over them. You can see in the far northeastern corner there is the hole in the floor with with the rope tied to one of the machines. But what draws your eye in this moment before you're able to react is what's in the center of this room. It looks like the air parts, like something has slashed the world open, and it's kind of hard to focus. It's like there's like in the way that when you cut into flesh, if you cut beneath the bottom layer of the skin tension makes the wound go circular rather than flat.
Oof.
It's pulled open at the sides, and you can see just something like strange black mists, and maybe if you were to focus on it you could make out some sort of landscape beyond, but it's hard to tell. Tell me if you do try and focus on it at any point.
No.
But the tear is dripping black ichor onto the floor around it. There's a pool of it around this wound in the world, and you can see that strange plants seem to be growing up out of the ichor, made out of what looks like bone and fingernails, just clustering around this hole. There are also a dozen shadows.
Shit.
6 of them are clustered around the hole were clustered around the hole at the far side of the room, just in case you decided to come up that way. But the other 6 are towards the centre, and they're all turned and facing the 4 of you as you come up, including the shadowy replica of Corzin. May I have everybody roll initiative?
Oh, God. Oh, balls.
10.
A dirty 20.
8.
Nice.
Okay, is it 20? Vera. 1 moment, just doing these. Oh, so much for Rusty and Co. And then the shadows. Okay. So, Scamp, you're up first.
Oh no, I don't want to be up.
6 of the shadows, as I say, are clustered around the hole. The other 6 are, again, fairly clustered around the central wound. The far ones are just about 40 feet away from you. The near ones are about 20 feet away.
Alright.
Is there anything else?
Beyond
Apart
what
from
I
the hole?
apart from the hole, no, nothing else yet.
Okay, so whatever Vera's thing is.
He said yet.
Yeah.
Mark this.
No.
Alright, I'm gonna chromatic orbit. Let's start using the spell slots.
Okay.
And I will twin it. How much does that cost me? That's brain stuff. Spend sorcery points equal to the level. Okay, I'll use 2 sorcery points then and twin this one. And I will Tides of Chaos.
Oh, before you can do that, however,
Oh no, there's one.
one is hanging over. So can I have? I had just noticed this, and this seems like a dramatic moment. Roll me a D100.
Shit.
74.
74. Okay, so there are conveniently 20 entities. So can you roll me a D20, please?
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
We're all going to fall asleep or something, aren't we?
1.
Scamp. I'm going to include you in this. You feel just this horrible revulsion, this nausea swell within you, and it's almost mind-numbingly sickening. For the next 3 hours, you are poisoned.
fuck's sake, man.
Random creature within 60 feet. There are 20 creatures within 60 feet, including yourself.
And you rolled a 1, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to be super pedantic, because it says within 20 feet of 60 feet of you. Does that mean I'm included?
I have chosen to include you.
Okay.
DM's fee out on that.
Fair enough.
Like...
Conditions.
Super inconvenient.
Yeah, but I'm... No, I chose to include you on this one.
Yep.
Just because, well, it seemed fair. Under the circumstances.
Does that... So, that happens before I can cast the spell?
I'm going to be generous and say this happens... No, because you're invoking Tides of Chaos to give yourself advantage. So I think it does.
Okay.
Unfortunately, yes.
So I've got disadvantage on both of them. And one becomes a straight
Yeah.
roll.
Sorry. Natural 1.
Yeah.
That's such an arse.
Tides of Chaos.
Okay,
Sometimes
so
it's terrible.
I will go for... How close are the ones in the
20
centre of the
feet
room
from
to
you.
us? How close? And the ones round the hole?
40 feet.
I'll go for the 20 feet ones then.
Hang on, does protection from good and evil do anything for poison?
Not for... It only protects her from being... Sorry, them from being poisoned by... I think if it does protect them from being poisoned, it protects them from being poisoned by one
No, it
of
doesn't
them.
affect poison.
It does...
It's charm, frightened,
Okay.
possessed.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't actually make a difference.
No, I just remembered it was a thing and I thought I'd ask.
Okay, so disadvantage is a 12.
Okay,
To
that... I think that just hits. That does indeed just hit.
And then the one that's a straight roll is like a 20-something. 23.
Yeah,
hit.
that definitely hits.
So...
What's this?
I will go for lightning damage. Why not?
Okay.
So the first one is... Ooh. 18... 25.
25. Halved to
25
12,
lightning
but
damage.
still very effective. Okay.
And
Excellent.
then the second one, less good, 15.
Halved to 7, but still, yeah. Or, as ever, the lightning's not as affecting them as much as you'd like, but it is still effective. As one of the balls...
Nothing I can do does!
As one of the balls strikes them, you see it sort of... as sparks of lightning fly out of it, ridding it of most of its shadow stuff. A pale version of itself still remains. Is there anything else you can do this round?
Not usefully, so I'm going to move... Is there anywhere I can get any cover from these things? Anywhere I can back away from them?
In terms of cover, because of the treacherous state of the steps, the only way to get cover would be to hide behind one of the machines, which would take you closer and wouldn't help in the event of being attacked in melee. However, so long as Vera can maintain concentration, they do have disadvantage attacking you.
Yeah, but I know how fast they move.
Yeah.
If I can step back a bit, I'll be out the range of the 6
If
farther
you,
away
I'd
ones.
say, if you want to make a... I almost want to say this is an acrobatics check. You could try your luck on backing into the stairwell.
Nah, I'm not going to do that. I'll be in the way of the people coming up. I'll leave
Okay.
it.
So, Vera is quite annoyed at what's just happened, but she does seem to recognise the symptoms at least. And as she swings up next to you, you hear a comment. You know, I really would have preferred to come out attacking, but never mind. And she thumps you in the chest. Corzin and Celestia, you see the fly dragon leap out and bite Scamp in the chest before retracting back into her sleeve. Scamp, you feel the poison purged from you.
Oh, helpful.
Yep, there goes one of her second level spell slots.
I could have coped.
Yeah, she
For a split second until he realises what's going on, Corzin's about to go, what the hell? Oh, right.
Yeah. Vera is going to try and do the dangerous thing and perch on the... Actually, no, she's going to move... Oh, there's not a lot of good options for her. She is probably going to have to move to... She's going to move 25 feet south and try and get further along the room so that she can eventually try and take cover. But not in a good position. Damn it, I didn't need to use that. She does seem to focus her attention on one of the shadows, though, and you see something... The tip of her... The sort of glass tip of one of her arrows seems to sparkle a little. You're not quite sure what effect that's going to have. Okay, that makes it Corzin next.
Okay, is the Shadow Corzin part of the group that's closest to us?
It's part of the central group.
Right. Alright. In which case then, he is going to attempt to position himself so he can get all of them in a blast of grape shot from his blunderbuss.
I'm just going to roll.
If that is indeed
Might
possible.
be. I'm gonna roll and see how many of them you can, because they are,
He's also going to cast Hunter's Mark on the Corzin one.
Okay, by sheer chance,
That's by the by.
because I rolled a 6, all of them are within the rank of grape shot, and I'm going to say that it's Corzin Shadow first, then the 2 that have already been lightninged. But Corzin Shadow first, then 2 uninjured ones behind it, and then the 3 behind, including the 2 that have already been lightninged. So yes, you can actually get all of them.
Right.
And you...
Corzin... Corzin says to the others, I ate the egg before I got this, pulling it out. Running up to it, cocking it, and then just unloading into all of them.
Okay, roll separately. Roll 1d6, then add 1d6, then add 1d6, and give me the 3 results. I'm going to roll some dex saves.
Okay, they've got a dex save for DC 14.
Cool.
4. Okay, that's 4 for the first. 3 for the second, so that's 7. And 2 for the third. Disappointing, but thematically accurate.
Sorry, can you give me those as totals again, please? Because I was...
Okay, 4 and 3 is 7, plus 2 is 9.
Cool, so 4, 7, 9. Corzin Shadow was one of the 2 that managed to successfully make their save. So
Of course it was.
yes, he only takes 4 points of blunderbuss damage.
But do I get the Hunter's Mark
But you do
damage
get the
on
Hunter's Mark damage, so you can roll that.
Okay, so that's an extra D6. 5.
Okay. Not enough to kill him, but he's as the blast rips through him, the moonlit grape shot, just scatter shot, seems to tear sections of the shadow stuff away. Behind the 2 behind him are they were already fairly tough, so they take part of the blast but are still standing. The 3 behind, one was not particularly injured to start with. It was not injured to start with, and consequently is fine. Another manages to dive behind one of the pieces of one of the industrial looms, but the third one is caught dead in the centre of the blast and is torn to pieces. 1 down. Okay.
All right. I don't think there's anything else I can do.
You already
round.
used your bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark, but the Corzin is now marked. Okay, next up, it is Celestia.
How many of them can I get into a 20-foot cube? I've got a 60-foot of range.
Either of the 2 groups. So now 5 that are in the centre, who are all to varying degrees injured, or the 6 off to the far away who are uninjured.
Oh, I don't know. I guess maybe I'll go for the more
injured ones. Okay.
No,
you go...
I mean I'll go for the bigger number. Sorry, I realised I just said more. I'll go for the bigger number.
Okay, you go for the 6 that clustered around the hole.
Yeah, because that's efficient, I think. So I will simultaneously strum my guitar and do a little ding with my heel on my xylophone. And basically what happens is the dancing lights all come back in with the twang on the guitar. And with the ding on the xylophone, it goes back out, but it becomes a little blanket of light that outlines the shadows if they fail a dex save anyway. So it's a DC 15.
1 success. 2 successes. 3 successes. Okay. 3 of them managed to happen to be duck behind 3 others. So that the fairy fire illuminates 3 of those 6, but the other 3 are
literally such a waste of that fucking spell. I can't even, I can only do that once a day.
They all rolled over 15 on naturals. Those 3 happens.
Bugger it.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so...
I'm trying to think if I have anything else I want to do. I think I'm going to leave it for now.
Okay, so then that makes it... the Shadow's turn. Looking at the 4 of you, they're going to split themselves accordingly. Those at the very far end, I'm going to say, because Vera has actually moved. Okay, Vera's the only one who's out of range of the 6 at the far end. So 3 of them are going to go for Scamp. 3 are going to go for Celestia as they just rush over, barely seeming to move their legs, but moving twice as fast as, say, Corzin could move. The 5 in the centre, how pissed off are they? One of them peels off to go for Vera. The others, however, all seem to very much focus in on the one who just grape-shotted them with a weapon that can actually harm them. So I'll do the attack against Vera first, just because it's easiest. That hits, actually. Bad news for V. She takes... Is it 2d6 plus 2? Yeah.
Couldn't do that one last, so she doesn't lose concentration.
Yeah. Well, I'll she's got her concentration up for this one, even if she loses it. So it becomes 11 halved to 5 because she is protected and loses 2 halved to 1 point of strength. Okay, then it's and a concentration check. Yep, she maintains her concentration. Okay, so we'll do the 4 against Corzin first.
Okay.
So that's a 14.
Does not hit.
Nope. Dirty 20. Nope. So one of them hits, does 14 half to 7 points of necrotic damage.
Bloody hell.
And 4 half to 2 points of strength damage.
God, I'm going to take this fucking potion.
And I'm going to say that was Corzin. That was Shadow Corzin.
Oh.
Right. Okay.
Kill it.
So -2 on the strength and 7.
As this Shadow Corzin plunges his hand into Corzin's chest, you see his features start to get a little bit more defined, looking as if it's less just a Shadow Corzin and more like some sort of illusory duplicate carved out of a shadowy substance.
Oh, God.
He seems to be becoming just a little bit more real. Okay, so next up there's the 3 against Scamp. So these are all at disadvantage. Yeah. Which is good. So, yeah, your AC is 15 right now, isn't it? So 1 fail, 2 fail, 3 fail, all of them roll. They rolled 17, 18, and 19 on the higher die of each of those. So, okay, and then they reach and they start to claw and grab at you, but you're able to pull yourselves away. You notice one of them glowing with two of them actually. Both of which are glowing with fairy fire. One of which is a small orphan girl's shadow. Another of which is the shadow of the guardsman.
Oh dear.
Yeah. So.
Well, at least we know where they went.
Yeah, it solves that mystery.
And you already destroyed the old woman's shadow, so she's not coming into this fight. 3 against Celestia, 17.
Yeah, hits.
Yeah, 18, 19.
Fucking hell, they all hit.
Yeah.
I'm fucked.
Okay, so that's 7 half to 3 points of necrotic from the first one. Then 11 half to 5 for the second one.
Yep.
And then 9 half to 4 for the third one.
So 9. Yeah, okay, I'm still up, so it could be worse.
1
1 second.
1.
I need a minute.
That's right. Do those.
Right, I've done that.
3 points of strength damage total because of your resistance.
Okay, so my strength is 10, which means my modifier is 0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Strength as you just feel the shadowy hands passing through you. You're not quite able to gain purchase in your heart, but still pulling threads of your life with you as they go. Okay, Rusty and Co. can finally act. They use their entire turn to get up to the top of the stairwell, but they are at least there now, and have now successfully joined the fight.
Shoot them all.
Really glad we brought other people.
Okay, Scamp, you're actually beating initiative count 20, so at the top of the round, you go first.
They are all within melee, aren't they?
Yeah, everyone's within melee. They're all within melee of someone now.
But with me, I've got how many on me?
3. 3 on you. Yeah, so 3 on you, 3 on Celestia, 4 on Corzin, 1 on Vera. Rusty and Co have actually taken up a position behind you so that they can fire without taking disadvantage.
I really wish I had some area of effect stuff. Oh well. I have nothing good. I guess I'm going to do frostbite. One of the ones in front. Which one are they particularly injured? The ones in front of me? Any of them?
No, none of these guys have been hit yet because they're the ones who are off on the other side.
Okay. Are there any that are looking like they're going to be on? I could say death.
The fading ones are. There are 2 ones that look fairly, weak, but not quite on destruction's door around Corzin.
I can do nothing good. This is problematic.
It's the problem with things that are resistant to everything.
Yeah, where are the fairy fired?
The fairy fired ones, 2 of them are attacking you, 1 is attacking Celestia.
Oh, chromatic orb, one of those, I guess, which gives me advantage and disadvantage.
Yep. Would you like to pick the little girl, the guardsman, or just some random shadow?
Guardsman was an arm.
Okay.
You're no longer poisoned, so you don't have disadvantage anymore, do you?
He's in melee with me.
Yeah.
Oh right, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
But all my other spells are so weak and they're resistant that
There's no point.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Fair.
I'm likely to do 1 damage.
A whole damage.
That's 14 to hit.
Hits, roll damage.
I did a damage.
10.
So halves to 5, but at least it's something. As the ball of lightning strikes it, you can see that it does burn away some of the shadow. Anything else you want to do?
Ooh. No, I don't want to. Well, wasting spell slots. I have so few spells. I'll leave it. I'll leave it there.
Okay.
I could get away, but I don't think I should.
Okay. As you finish up, there is a strange sort of sound, and the wound in the world seems to pulse for a moment, as if stretching slightly. No other immediate effect.
Ugh.
Vera.
hate that.
Okay, Vera goes next. She is going to, lowering her bow to the side, she draws a short sword. Well, it's actually more like a long knife, a halfling-style sex. And as she flicks her hand with it, the blade seems to turn from steel momentarily to some sort of prismatic rainbowed glass.
Ooh.
And she's going to try and stab the one immediately in front of her. Which is that one. Which, yeah, that hits. So this does... As it strikes... I guess that's a total... Okay. You notice that the blade seems to pierce it. Pierce the shadow, and as she pulls it up, it actually seems to strike it as effectively as if it was, as if she was using, say, using dishonor or death to try and touch it. The rainbow effect fades, but she takes another swing at it, just with it as a normal steel blade, and with as damaged as it already is, this seems to be enough to just do it in. The second cut tears it into just threads of shadow. She retreats all the way to the far side of the room, taking a degree of cover behind one of the industrial machines, and this time picks her bow back up and gets ready to fire again. That's all she can do for this round. Corzin, you are being mobbed by 4 shadows, one of which is you.
Ooh.
Okay. Corzin kind of grits his teeth against the cold, icy tendrils around his heart and says, "You seem to have mistaken me as a man who's afraid of his own shadow." And it cuts through his doppelganger's hand with one of his swords, and then tries to slice it where its neck would be with the other.
Give me your attack rolls, please.
Okay. Oh, that's a 10
total.
for the first one.
Pulls the hand back.
That's cocked. That's an 18 for
The
the
second one does hit. Roll damage for me, please.
Okay, that's 10 damage plus the hunter's mark.
Yep.
2.
Okay. How would you like to finish your shadowy doppelganger?
Yes.
Okay. Right. The first one just kind of goes straight through the arm without even touching it, but the second one lops the thing's head off, and in so doing, he kind of scooches away from it, and as it falls back, it's kind of the hand that was previously in Corzin's chest just slowly reaches up to where its head was and feels around kind of like confusedly for a moment before entirely dissipating.
As you notice,
Such a nice image, mate.
as your shadow dissipates, a few drops of some sort of black sub-liquid seem to hit the ground before fizzling away out of existence.
Oh, I hate that.
Okay, dealing with that later.
You have never seen any of the other shadows do this.
Hate that.
Also, the shadow that you destroyed with the scattershot blast didn't do that either. I'll just confirm.
Okay,
Oh.
question then. Can I take my bonus action to move the hunter's mark to one of the other shadows
No,
adjacent to
because
me?
using your second weapon uses your bonus action.
Ah.
Fair
I think
enough.
it has to be a subsequent turn anyway.
That's fine. Well, I'm going to anyway on the subsequent turn, but yeah.
Okay,
that's
so unless you want to move, bearing in mind there's still 3 shadows on you.
I would get so opportunity attacked, it wouldn't be worth it.
Such attack, such
Okay.
opportunity.
Celestia then.
Much damage. Very ow.
So can I? I'm sorry, I'm asking you so many logistical questions in this battle, but is there any way I can get within a 15-foot circly thing?
Yeah.
Is there any way I can get the shadows and not get anyone else? There are 3
yes.
near me, right?
Yeah, I'm going to say that because of the way they're spaced, you can probably get 4 out of the 6 shadows that are... Wait, no, it's a 15-foot cubed. Yeah, I'm going to say 4, because it's
4,
one
perfect.
of which is one of the ones clustering around Corzin.
Okay, I mean, it's gonna halve, so I'm gonna go for a level 2 thunder wave. So the guitar is being flipped around to the front. We are going wow up the neck, and it's gonna sort of. I like to imagine that it's so loud that the walls kind of like you feel a little vibration in the whole room, like you feel it under your feet, sort of thing.
Yeah, there's a subwoofer.
Sort of dust comes.
Yeah,
from
there's
the
a proper subwoofer bass.
Yeah, and little bits of dust fall down, and if you look very carefully, you can see this sort of purple flash in my hair that goes all the way down to the guitar and goes out a little bit. So yeah, I'm going to roll for that. They need to roll a con save.
Excellent. Okay, the one near Corzin succeeded, the ones near you do not.
Fabulous. Good. Okay, that's not bad, actually. So that is 17, obviously, which gets halved. But
halved to 8, half to 4 for the one near Corzin.
Yeah.
But it's still enough to blast away about half of their shadow stuff from each of them.
Okay.
Shadow stuff.
One of which was the one is one of the fairy fired ones. He just seems to be just some ordinary artisan, still wearing his apron. The shadowy reflection of his apron. But yeah, as they seem visibly and quite literally shaken by the blast of sound.
Oh, I'm trying to work out who looks like they're struggling.
Like
struggling.
The most struggling one is actually the one near Corzin that you.
No, I mean in terms of allies.
Oh, in terms of allies,
I can't do anything for myself. I'm a bard.
Probably. I mean,
you can heal.
You
can't
can
you?
heal.
I can heal. I don't know. Do I want to do that now?
I mean,
spells.
Scamp,
Yeah,
have you
that's the
actually
thing.
been hit yet? You haven't, have you?
No.
Yeah. Vera's looks fine, honestly. She looks like she could take quite a bit more punishment.
Yeah, functionally, Corzin's only down 2 hit points thus
Okay,
far.
maybe I'll leave that for now then, actually.
In fact, I forgot that she had temporaries from you, so she's actually just at full now.
Okay, here's another game. Who's got the most shadows on them?
Who's got the most shadows on them? It's pretty evenly spread between you, you, Corzin, and Scamp. Vera and Rusty and Co. Are
Alright,
currently
fuck
on
it,
sale.
I'm going to do something else. So, what... Sorry about this.
Oh, wait, Thunderwave! The 3 near you...
Yeah, they're pushed away.
Yeah, the 3
Yeah, they
near
are.
you have actually been shunted 10 feet away from you. So you are currently in melee with no shadows.
Okay, good to know. How much range is everybody else in? I'm sorry for all the questions.
I'm going to say you're about 10 feet away from the 3 that are bothering Scamp, and about...
No, all my friends, how many are in range?
Oh, you're all within... I'd say between where Corzin is and where Rusty and Co are is about a 20-foot cube. Vera is a little bit further away. She's deliberately separated off to give herself range.
Pretty sure it's bigger than that, so... Alright, so having just done a big power chord and gone wow one way down the neck, I'm going to go back the other way and go wow.
Just sound like a grumpy cat.
As Corzin is the only one who would see this, actually. Oh no, everybody would, because it's Mantle of Inspiration, and I always, for some reason, always assumed that the Rainbow Spirit became visible while I did that. Is that
it
allowed?
did once, and it's allowed to whenever. Yeah.
Cool. So instead of coming out of my hair for a change, it's like if you imagine the guitar was coated in like liquid paint, so that when I run my hand along it, it like sprays off. Like it's like this rainbow tidal wave and spray of joy. And you will get another 5 temporary hit points, and you can move up to your movement now with no attacks of opportunity.
Worth Worth
Yes,
mentioning, of
please.
course, temporary hit points don't stack, but if you've lost any, you get them back.
Oh, okay, so you just get up to 5.
Up to 5.
Oh, cool. Well, that's still not bad.
I'm going to move.
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yeah. It was mostly for
Yeah.
the movement that I did it, to be perfectly honest.
There are also moves. she's gonna leg it across the room. Rusty and Co are going to spread out a bit along the walls, so that they're not quite, so in the hopes that they can at least be a little bit more able to support each other rather than all clustered into one place as quite as obvious targets. Okay, so yeah, where do you guys want to move to? Just away?
I'm going to actually try and, assuming there are no other shadows there, I'm going to try and move away and towards one of the windows. I'm just going to have like my back to it.
You've got
so
enough.
that I know I don't have anything behind
Cool.
me in order
Do you want to move towards the north or south windows?
Which one is closer to the rip in the fabric of the universe?
Rip in the fabric of the universe is about evenly spaced between the two.
Oh, right, okay. In which case, I'll stick with the ones that is closer to the rest of the group.
Okay,
I don't
then
want
you
to
move
get
to the
isolated.
northern side.
Good question.
Yep, fine.
Can we see behind the rip into the room?
Or
Or like, do we
you have to
if
move-
we look round it,
You
like
look-
what
yeah,
happens?
if you look round it, you can see it. It's like, it's weird. It seems like a two-dimensional rip no matter what angle you look at it, but it's obviously...
Oh, but it's like always facing you.
Yeah, but it's always facing you.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, tell if anyone deliberately looks into it, please tell me.
Oh no, fuck off. Absolutely not.
Yeah, you are...
I also want to try and get towards a wall.
Yeah,
away
okay,
from-
you move towards... you can easily move... If you want, you could even move into the south-western corner from where you are.
Yeah,
Okay.
why not? I've lost track of where anything is, but that's fair.
Fair enough. Okay, yeah, so you're all now quite spaced out, relatively able to support each other without being too clustered in. Alright, that makes it the shadows go. Since they're up next.
I want it to be the shadows.
No, shadows go before Rusty, sadly. But this has meant that they're much more spread out. So, 3 were after Corzin before. 3 after Scamp, 3 after Celestia. Are they going to reassign their targets now that more are available? Probably yes. So, 1, 2, yeah, there's a total of 9 of these guys left. Let's see how many still want to go after Corzin. Okay, 2 of the shadows that were on Corzin are going to stick with their original plan. One of them is instead going to go for Rusty.
Rusty's gonna die like immediately.
Yeah.
We're
Then
such dicks.
we'll see how many want to continue going after Scamp. So, 2 are going to stick with Scamp, but one of those, a 3, is instead going to go for... that looks like Knuckles.
Oh, poor
Sorry,
Knuckles.
Knuckles. It's actually the Guardsman. The Guardsman is going for Knuckles. The little girl and one of the unfairy-fired ones is going to go for Scamp. And let's see how many decide to stick with Celestia. Only one, the last fairy-fired one, is going to go try and step to Celestia. The other 2 go for Shaz and Spoons, respectively. Sorry, guys. I feel
thug names.
yeah.
They're really good.
So I guess let's do some attacks against Corzin first.
Getting innocent people
Okay.
killed. La, 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 la.
None of them thought to attack very interestingly. So
Good, she's busy concentrating.
so no, that was a natural 16 versus Corzin for 1, and a crit from the other one.
Whoa.
Okay, Corzin, you take 8 half to 4 necrotic from the first one.
Okay.
16 halved to 8 from the second one. Strength damage is not doubled on a crit. So... 2 and a 4, so you take a total of 3 points of strength drain.
Ooh, that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so once again, this is my modifier.
No, it is
thing,
your
right?
ability score.
No.
Emphatically not your modifier.
Okay.
But your modifier is affected
Your modifier
by
is
a big
affected
number.
by it, but no,
Oh,
don't
okay, so
don't
it's
deduct from your
-5
modifier.
to
You will die twice as quickly.
Yeah, okay, no, that's fine. That's fine. And I've right, fine.
Yeah, no, it is the stat itself that is drained.
That's comforting in a sort of roundabout kind of way. I am really glad I'm not playing a strength-based barbarian or something.
God.
Okay, 2 against Scamp next. With disadvantage. Nope. Again, I find myself in an interesting position. I'm going to say that one of the ones going up against you, Scamp, tries to plunge its hand into your chest and overstretches in such a way as to make itself incredibly vulnerable. So that one, anyone who attacks that one on the next round has advantage to attack them.
Nice.
Just because they're
Dogpile!
really exposed. Okay, so then the 2 versus Celestia. No, it's only 1 against Celestia.
Yeah.
He got a 3, so fine. And now it's time to see what happens to Rusty and Disco. Rusty lives!
Hey!
Shaz is less fortunate.
Oh, no.
Knuckles is less fortunate.
Oh, God.
Spoons is more fortunate.
Wait, so they did over 15.
No, I
points of
haven't
damage
rolled
to
yet.
all of them?
They might
Oh,
live.
okay.
They might live.
Well, they will. They should live.
Yeah, this round. Rusty
Godwin.
Rusty takes 8 points of necrotic damage. And 2 points
Okay.
of strength. And Knuckles... Sorry, not Knuckles. Spoons, I think, was the unlucky one. Spoons takes, again, 8. And loses 3 points of strength. I feel a little sorry for these guys, but not sorry as they feel for themselves. Especially because they're now... Yeah, okay. Are they going to go try and keep using the muskets despite disadvantage, or are they going to try and use the knives or something? I think they're probably going to stick with they're going to try and use the advantage. So the one against... Okay, so Rusty is going to attack with disadvantage. That one was cocked. Hey! Rusty actually manages to fire successfully at the one on him. And does not quite enough damage to kill it, but almost. You see you hear the as the musket shot punches through the centre of the shadow, leaving a gaping hole which only slowly begins to flow back in. Shaz is against... Oh, Shaz is actually against one which is fairy fired, so he gets to fire straight and is just able to hit. Good on you, Shaz.
Ooh, Shaz.
Shaz does 9 damage, half to 4. So is it again, slowly whittling away as another musket shot goes through it. Knuckles, who are you against? Knuckles is against someone who isn't... Yeah, so disadvantage. Still, though, with disadvantage, just hits. Knuckles isn't, again... Had it been a living thing, that would have been enough to kill it, but not quite. It's still fighting strong, and finally Spoons. Spoons, however, no, trying to fight against something that's right up in front of it. Shot goes wide, smashes into some of the industrial machinery. Bad luck, Rusty and Co. At least they're holding some worth, though. They're not completely useless. They're helping to whittle things down, and they are importantly taking 4 targets off you.
Yeah.
Poor sacrificial Rusty and Co. Okay, so top of the round. It is Scamp time. Scamp, there are two that are still that are on you, kind of meleeed up against you in the corner. The rest are all spread out. 2 against Corzin, 1 against everybody else.
Okay. Right. Everything that's at range is going to be disadvantaged because I'm in melee. So I might as well get rid of these guys first.
Yeah, unless you want to provoke an
one of
attack
them's-
by moving out of the space.
Oh, that doesn't seem like a good idea.
The attacks would at least be with disadvantage.
Yeah. One of them's made themselves vulnerable.
Yes.
Because they and is the other
Is
one
also
fairy
fairy fired. Yeah.
Ooh.
No, both of them are vulnerable. One is fairy fired, the other one has overextended.
So they'd both be
Straight rolls if you used chromatic orb.
Lovely. If I did range, I'll do that then, and I will do a level 1 and double a chromatic orb.
Excellent. And
Just going to use up everything now.
just because this yeah, okay, no, we're going to do this first then. So yeah, give me those, please. Your attacks.
Okay. So that is a 24.
Hits.
And a
Also
25.
hits. Roll damage.
Nice, mate.
So lightning again. 17.
Okay. Up to 8.
17, but different numbers that happen to add up to
Both
the
of them are,
Weird.
seem about half of their shadow stuff is torn away by balls of lightning. Anything else?
Yeah. Should have gone for a weaker one. Nothing I can really do on a bonus
Okay.
action.
As you
Nothing useful
initiative count 20 then. There again, the wound seems to pulse. Scamp, roll a d100.
Oh, I
tides will
hate
set in.
this. This is horrible.
76.
That's super weird.
No, other way around. 67.
Okay.
I can
You can read as well as Scamp can, apparently.
Oh shit. Okay.
no.
Until the end of your next turn, one of the 2 shadows in front of you is absolutely terrifying.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Indeed, yes, no.
No.
aren't I immune to fear?
That
No, that.
this is from
It says the target can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
by them, yes.
By them.
But that's the thing is
So
this is
different 'cause it's
from
coming
wild
internally.
magic. So no, it
Yeah,
is essentially
okay.
coming from you. So you are the source of your fear, but it is focused on this one. So no. Until the end of your next turn, you have
Okay, that's
disadvantage on ability checks and attacks while that particular shadow is in line of sight, and you cannot willingly move closer to it.
But you don't have to run away.
Since it's
Get closer
backing
to
you
it if
into
I
a
tried.
corner.
Unhelpful.
Yeah.
Wild Magic's been a dick today.
Yeah, it's responding to the malign influence of the wound in the world.
God, why is it always story appropriate?
Yeah.
Okay. And indeed, Scamp, it feels like your connection to this place is just... Okay, I'm going to roll a wisdom check.
Oh, I really want to.
I'm going to roll a wisdom check for Vera here. Okay, she's smart enough to see what's happening. So she's going to take one of her glass-tipped arrows, and as she draws it, the whole arrow seems to turn into this sort of vibrant rainbow-hued glass, and she's going to fire it at the shadow in front of you, Scamp, the one that is
She's just the best.
affecting you.
I love her.
That's natural 18. That hits. So this is where it gets fun. Let's roll damage. Yeah, as the arrow strikes it, it splinters into shards of glass, none of which get into your eye, but also just tears the shadow apart in the process.
Ooh,
That
nice.
shadow, which was not the fairy fired one, it was the I should have given her advantage. Not that it matters. That shadow is completely destroyed. She fires a still crystal tipped, but not currently glowing and interesting arrow at the other one with advantage. Yep. And hits. 10 half to 5 points of piercing damage. Again, it's to one of the ones near you, Scamp. She seems to be trying to clear your way. Not enough to kill it out.
I'm not very helpful here.
Yeah, but you don't do well when things are in melee with you.
True.
Yeah, actually. Fair.
Vera does think tactically. So yeah, that's her actions. Okay, Corzin.
Okay. Now, if I were to throw some holy water at one of these things, would it splash onto the other one? Or would it just be like
one
breaking
target,
on the floor?
one target only.
Okay.
Unless you had some sort of holy water seltzer.
Okay. Alright, in which case then I've just got to close the gap again and go after them with my my swords.
Two of them are right on you, so...
Oh, they're right on me, in which case it saves me the trouble.
Yes!
Right. Okay. So I've only got 2 swords, so you're going to have to share.
Okay.
Right, that's 16 for the first one.
Hits. Roll damage.
Okay.
This is with death.
Oh, that's 10 damage.
Okay, you slice it in half, and with a silent scream, it disintegrates.
Okay, other one then. Oh, that's a 22.
That hits. Roll damage.
Okay. That is a 7 total.
Okay, not enough to kill it outright, but it is at least weakened significantly. You can see it's sort of shivering and quaking and barely holding it together.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
and
many left?
I've used my
You used your bonus
to do
action.
that second one.
Yep.
So,
There are-
do I still have? The
No,
bonus
you
action?
use the bonus
Oh,
action
yeah.
to attack with 2 weapons. That's
Yeah, that's
how
fine,
your
that's
2
fine.
weapon fighting works. There are a total of 7 still alive. 1 on Corzin, 4 on the expendable crew.
Oh,
We can't call them the expendable crew.
1 on
The Scamp
one
doesn't
on
think
yeah,
like that. for
1
one thing.
Scamp and 1 on Celestia.
Cool.
Yeah, the
The Scamp's going to waste our healing on them.
the expendable crew don't think of themselves as that either. But
Well, seeing how we've been behaving, I think they might start to think that.
they are at least, none of them look near death right now.
Good.
Okay, so that makes it Celestia.
There's just the one in front of me right now.
One in
isn't
front of
there?
you, and there's also one.
Can
in
I
front of
literally
Corzin
just
one.
pour holy water on its head?
Yes, you can. Make it as a dex attack roll, please.
Just dex?
Dex plus proficiency.
I'm proficient in my own hands. Good.
I'm going to say you're proficient at just splashing something, yeah.
So that would be +4.
By strict definition of the rules, this is actually an improvised
Motherfucker,
weapon
that's a
attack,
12?
which isn't, but I consider it to be.
What?
Sorry, just a comment for listeners. By strict definition of the Player's Handbook rules, you don't get proficiency, but I think that's a bit daft because you are literally splashing a thing in front of you. Anyway.
I'm literally uncorking a bottle and throwing water
you
at
are
something.
proficient in throwing water.
It doesn't
12
feel-
hits.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Roll
Brilliant.
2d6 radiant
Radiant.
damage.
you can throw water at least as well as you can throw shade.
Yay. Celestia can throw shade much better than she can throw water.
really,
Thank
really
you.
well.
Oh, that's a 6 and a 1. That's really weird. I got 7.
Okay, that is exactly what you needed.
Yay!
So,
Excellent.
I like to think what happens is the holy water sort of pours onto it, and wherever the water pours down, it disappears,
yeah.
sort of thing, and it kind of steams. It's like
Yeah,
but
you just
wherever
splash what
yeah.
honestly looks like ordinary water, but it sticks in midair to it and then slowly falls through, just melting the shadow away.
Yeah. So fun.
Yeah. The floor. By the time it hits the floor, though, it just seems to be just ordinary water. There's just a wet patch on the ground in front of you. Any holiness seems to have expired from it.
So we can't sort of...
You can't mop it back up and then
Suck it out of the
attack
floor.
someone.
Get a rag,
Yeah,
put the rag on the floor, and then just sort of whip them with it.
Otherwise, I was going to say, just stick use the mop it up, and then attack them with the mop.
I would love that. That would be wonderful. But
I want a holy mop. Can we get a holy mop?
let's get a holy mop.
I'm going to say you have to soak the holy mop in holy oil for that to work. Okay, so improvised
It's a wonderful
polearm.
image. Oh, it'd be a reach weapon too. That's brilliant.
Okay, yep, that's your action, Celestia, and you are no longer in melee with them.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else I want to do.
Okay, no one else at this point I believe, is by the stairs or the
Oh, actually, can I move and stick myself against a wall
Yes, okay.
again, so that no one can?
Yeah, you're on the north
surprise me
wall,
from
not
behind.
too far away from Corzin, but like a
Yeah.
little bit of distance between them.
I just feel like that's sensible.
Okay, on the shadows go, most of them are going to stick with the targets that they already have, I think, but completely silent by their nature. You look over and you see 6 more shadows begin to rise, clambering up the stairs. None of them were heavy enough to set off the trap. I'm going to say they've essentially dashed up the building, but that uses up all their movement. They get to the top of the stairs, and that's where they stop. They will be
So
active.
is it dawn now?
No, but they have
They have
to get back
Yeah,
before
they have to
dawn.
get back before, yeah.
And
of course.
this seems to be the first wave that have come back in.
Shit.
If you could break the stairs somehow as they were coming up, they would be at least mildly hampered by that.
Well, they can just sort of follow the rope up,
Yeah,
I
there is
guess.
a rope at the other end.
or come up the building and through a window. It's just,
The windows actually here have no holes in them on this level.
Okay,
Okay,
none
good
at
to
all.
No, none at all.
That's good to know.
They're all secure.
Interesting. Maybe we should change that.
Yeah, because they can't pass through solid objects, but they can, like, I would imagine if there was the tiniest crack between window panes or something.
You've certainly
They're
seen
not
them
really
squeeze through spaces about as thick as, say, a human thumb.
Right.
Yeah. So, speaking of human thumbs, they're going to try and drain the life from yours.
Just from our thumbs?
And the rest of you by extension. Okay, so 1 against Corzin.
None of us are human. That was such a poor metaphor.
Oh yeah! Mostly from Rusty's thumbs then. And indeed from Knuckles' thumbs.
It was just how cheerful you were when you said
So
that.
cheerful.
So Corzin, the one attacking you, Corzin fails. The one after Scamp had disadvantage, but still fails as it tries to claw at you ineffectually. One next to Celestia. They're rolling a lot of 3s, and then it's time for these guys to try and attack Rusty and Co. Sorry, Rusty.
Oh no.
No, Shaz is fine. Sorry, Knuckles. Sorry, Spoons.
Ah, shit.
Shaz has the light, so this is particularly good. Okay, so Rusty. You can see his skin grows cold and pale, and he drops to the ground. The shadow begins to kneel over him, hands still stretched into his chest. You can Corzin, because of your proficiency in medicine, you can see Rusty is out but not yet dead. The shadow appears to be set on draining him of the last of his life.
Okay.
He's not actually dead yet, though.
No, he's not dead yet.
Shaz is lucky. Knuckles only takes 6 points of necrotic damage and 1 point of strength. Spoons is also down, but not quite dead. However, Spoons, the shadow next to Spoons is sticking kneeling by her, putting its hand in her chest and draining life from her.
Oh dear.
How is that shadow looking?
So those shadows respectively are The ones on Shaz and Spoons are looking okay, like they're not great, but they're okay. The one on Knuckles is not looking well, and the one on Rusty is on Destruction's door.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Okay. Speaking of which, it's Rusty's go. So Rusty is going to make a death saving throw, which he succeeds. Spoons is going to make a death saving throw, which she succeeds. And Shaz and Knuckles are going to try and fire on the shadows currently on their trying to suck life from their teammates.
Good idea.
Yeah. Disadvantage though because they're being harassed by the shadows on them. So Shaz misses. Spoons also misses.
Okay.
They're too busy trying to save their own lives to be able to get clean shots off. Bad news for Rusty and Kerm. All right. Top of the round. It's Scamp. You have one very weak-looking shadow in front of you, but it is still kind of keeping up with you.
Okay. Oh bloody hell! And how far away am I from the one on Rusty?
The one on Rusty, I'm going to say you're about 20 feet away from Rusty's shadow. You notice actually Rusty's literal shadow is getting weaker and weaker. It's literally just growing paler, it's as if his body was obscuring less light.
Oh.
I will try a frostbite on that one.
Okay. Yep, that you can do that at range. So go for it.
It's a con save.
Oh, it's just a con save. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay. What's your save DC? 14? 15. It fails. Huzzah! Roll damage just for the hell of it.
5.
Okay. Ice crystals just spread up its entire form and then shatter, leaving nothing behind.
Yay!
Rusty's shadow is gone. Okay.
So Rusty's still down, but he's
Rusty
not having
is
his
still
shadow
down,
sucked out
but
of
is
him.
not being drained.
Good.
So if he dies from being unconscious, he won't become a shadow. It's only if they're drained, isn't it?
You don't know.
I don't know.
That would make
Scamp
sense,
doesn't know
but
that.
we'll see.
Yeah, the answer is you don't know. When you're in a less pressured situation, you can make an Arcana check and try and figure that out. Actually, to be honest, no. You don't know.
Scam won't.
There's no way that any of you would have ever seen access to the research.
No idea. Yeah.
So no. That's not a detail that would have been included in legends and folklore about these things. So no. Okay, anything else you want to do, Scamp?
Nothing much I can do. I'll leave it there.
Okay. Right. Looking at the situation then, Vera is going to again. One of her arrows begins to turns in entirely crystalline, and she's going to fire at the one on Corzin this time. Which just hits. Good thing she has a high attack bonus. So this one, yeah, so that's a total of 9 damage, and it wasn't that strong to begin with. The glass arrow strikes it, splinters, completely destroys the one on Corzin. Okay, Corzin, you are now completely free of shadows.
Nice.
Thank you.
She's going to turn and fire a normal arrow at the one on Scamp. She does not seem to give a shit about spoons. Sorry, old chap. Or chapette
I
possibly.
only give a shit about spoons because it'll be another shadow if she dies.
Yeah.
I just like the
Does it?
name Spoons.
It is cute.
But the other one was Rusty's one was more injured.
Yeah. 6 points of damage. Half to 3 is enough. As the arrow goes through, it tears out. It seems to tear away the shadow's head, and the rest of it quivers and then destabilizes, just fizzling away. Scamp, you are no longer being mobbed by shadows yet. By the way, at this, I forgot to mention it, but just before this happens, there is again a pulsing.
I hate this so much.
And is anyone looking at, even if not directly at, the wound, or are you all averting your eyes from it?
Am I facing down towards
You're facing down towards
I
it.
would be facing it because I've just stepped back against a wall.
But
Okay.
I'm not actively averting my eyes.
You can.
I would have been
I
more
don't-
concerned with the shadow up to this point.
Yeah. You can just see some sort of quadrupedal form seem to momentarily almost shift into existence and then fade away within it.
Oh, good.
It's hard to
Hate
make out
this.
any details
But it hasn't affected my wild magic unless the tides are active.
unless the tides are active.
Okay, good to know. Because that's what I was waiting to find out.
No, the tides are.
Whether it was just
tides
gonna
are
happen anyway.
Tides are currently dormant.
That would have been quite scary if it just
So-
happened anyway.
Well, it meant I'd be able to use it every turn.
The tides of chaos are currently out.
Yeah, tides are currently dormant. So, if you'd activated your tides, yeah, they probably would have gone off then.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I just needed to know whether it was going to happen anyway.
because if so, sod it.
Might as well.
Every turn, fuck
Yeah.
it. Ah.
Okay, so that that hasn't emerged yet, but that's the end of Vera's turn. She's just taking her position. Corzin, you are up. There are 4 shadows at the top of the stairs. There is 1 shadow on Celestia. Actually, no, you got rid of the shadow on you, didn't you, Celestia?
Yeah, there are no shadows on me right
No
now.
shadows
That's why
on
I
any of
thought
the
I'd be
core
looking
party.
at the
Yeah,
crack.
no shadows on any of the core party. 3 on Rusty and Co. 2 on Shaz and Knuckles. 1 sticking its hand into Spoons' chest.
So 6 in total left.
3 left, and sorry, did I say? Yeah, I did say 4. So there's 7 in total left.
7. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
4 in a cluster on the stairs. 3 spaced out, attacking the
Minions. Cool.
Alright, I'm going to take the holy water and try and lob it at the one that's currently got their hand in Spoons.
Okay, go for it. Make an attack roll.
We're all fucking children.
Okay, that's going to be an 18.
That does hit. Roll 2d6 radiant, please.
Fab.
4. And 4 is 8 radiant damage.
That's just enough. As the flask smashes into it, it's almost as if it's cushioned for a moment and then breaks, and the spray of water just covers it in its entirety and slowly filters through it, taking the shadow away until it just collapses into a pile of just ordinary water and broken pottery shards.
Corzin yells at the others, "Who wants the next one of them then?"
Make an intimidation check.
Okay. Intimidation. Natural 1, but I'm going to roll the lucky feat.
Okay.
Hey, you remembered.
I remembered. Take a shot, those who are playing along at home.
Of water. Stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Or rum.
Definitely rum.
Okay,
This is
that's
Flintlocks and
14.
14.
14.
Okay. It doesn't seem to. It's not enough to grant you any advantage, but they have no. You've definitely succeeded in attracting the attention of the 4 on the stairs.
Okay.
So the okay. So that makes it Celestia's.
Celestia's. So I don't know who to go for first. I'm sort of panicking a bit.
Yep. So there's 4 on the stairs, 2 now fighting, still alive and kicking, and not dying on the floor. Minions.
Is there one of those that looks more injured? Those 2?
Yep, the one on Knuckles.
Okay, I'm gonna very unusually take out my rapier and
Oh.
run across the room twiddling it like a knobhead, because that's how I fight with my rapier. And I'm gonna go for that one with the slicey fun.
Okay.
That's a 16.
That hits. Roll
Ooh,
damage.
excellent. Okay.
I must ask when we're not in combat if Celestia has named her rapier, because I imagine she probably would have done.
I'm gonna say she has.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
gonna
putting 5
Come up with something in
I'm,
between
I'm
now and
putting
when you ask
5
me.
Monopoly money on Stabby.
I'm going to put my bet on Brian.
I mean, I love that.
Stabby Brian.
Okay, that's not terrible. That's That's 8. No, that's 9. Sorry, it's +1.
Okay, you stab it through the place where its heart should be, and the hole seems to just spread outwards for a moment until...
I fluff my rapier around to try and get all the
Yeah,
bits.
just sort of wiggle it around, getting rid of all the pieces. That shadow is now gone. Okay. One thing actually. Sorry, on the previous turn, I forgot to mention, Corzin. For once, you did actually have your bonus action left if you wanted to use it.
Oh, okay. In which case, then I shall.
Realise it's worth pointing out because you've been using it consistently up to this point.
Can I then use it to move my hunter's mark?
Yes, you can.
To I'll say to the one that's still menacing
Shaz.
the B team over there. Yeah.
Okay. Shaz's shadow is now marked. Cool.
Cool.
Okay. So, Celestia, anything else you wanted to do?
Nah, I think I'm alright for now. I'm trying to save something because I know that we might have something big coming.
Yeah. Okay. So it's time for the shadows. The shadow on Shaz is going to try and kill Shaz. And it crits.
Oh no.
Oh. Okay. So Shaz is down.
Dead or?
Down or on 0. It rolls in, mind you, not necessarily. That was what? 8 times 2. No, that was enough to take her down to 0. So down and drained 1 strength, and it's now kneeling over her, just sort of hand in the chest. Okay, the 4 on the stairs, however, are going to mob Corzin. So
bring it on.
Okay, 4 attacks against Corzin. Okay, so miss, hit, crit.
Oh
shit!
Okay.
Divorced, beheaded, died. No.
I know, right? 1 does 7 half to 3 points of necrotic, and 2 half to 1 points of strength, and the other does. Well, it rolled 3 on the one that was about to double, which is nice. So 8 half to 4 points of necrotic, and another 1 point of strength.
Okay, so that's 7 total on the necrotic, and
2 strength.
Right.
How's Corzin looking?
Corzin, you see, he's still as nimble and dexterous as ever, but you can see, down his arms and across his back, his muscle mass is visibly withered.
Oh, not good.
He has if I'm calculating this correctly, he now has a strength of 10, and he started off with a strength of 17.
Wow, that's bad. Hey, he's
also,
same as Celestia now. Yay!
With the
You're still stronger than Scamp.
With the 7, that means he's sorry, I'm just
mathsing.
Mathematical.
Okay, no, he's still looking all right in terms of injury, but yeah, he's not looking well.
Okay. So, that's all of the shadows go. Knuckles, kind of looking between his companions right now, goes, fuck it! And he's actually going to run over to, I'm going to say to Rusty, and digs out from Rusty's jacket a small vial, which he uncorks, shoves into Rusty's mouth, kind of massaging his throat a little bit, and Rusty, you see, gets back up, because they did come prepared with healing potions.
Okay, they're not completely stupid. That's good.
No.
This is not their first rodeo.
This is not their first rodeo.
The bad part of my brain just went, great, if they die we can loot some things.
Yeah, I'm not going to pretend that I hadn't thought that.
Okay, Rusty is at least stable and back up on 8. Shaz makes their saving throw. Spoons is on 1 fail, 1 success.
Oh god, Spoons is hanging in the balance right now.
Although Spoons is at least not being actively drained, which is nice.
Hey Robs, we all have that tiny little bit of chaotic evil in us all.
Okay, that's Rusty and Co.'s go for the moment. Oh, pardon me. Scamp.
Right, there's one draining still, isn't
One
there?
draining and 4 now clustered around Corzin.
Has that one been injured at all?
It's been fairly injured.
Okay, how far away from me is it?
Looking at it, it's going to say it's about 30 feet from you.
What's the range on the holy water?
20 feet, so you'll need to move 10 feet.
I'll move 10 feet closer. And then I'll Tides of Chaos to give myself advantage on this. And chuck a holy water.
Okay.
Oh, they're both good, needn't bother. Oh, right. I never do anything with dexterity. What is this? I mean, they're both high enough they'll hit anyway. Because I rolled a 15 and a 17, so... 21, maybe?
That hits.
2d6, was it?
Yep.
9!
Total. What damage type is this? Oh, sorry, it's the radiant. So yes,
Yeah.
Sorry, my mind blinked for a moment. Okay, that is enough. As you splash it over the one over Shaz, the water seems to run through it and it just melts away. The original dozen shadows have now all gone.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you wish to do with your turn?
Where are the others? How far away? Can I back away from the other shadows?
You can, which just leads you to back to the wall away from Corzin. So, in terms of
Yeah, in fact, if I can move away from as many people as possible, because I know something bad might happen very soon.
So, on the sort of southern wall, kind of using partly covered by the old machinery, spaced away from each other are Vera and Scamp. On the northern wall, backs to the wall, are Celestia and Corzin. On the western wall at different points are Rusty's crew. Initiative count 20. So, once again, the wound seems to twist and expand. The wound tears open and something emerges,
Oh no.
rearing forth with a terrible death whinny.
Oh,
You
shit.
can see the black-bodied form of a horse that emerges from the hole. Its mane, hooves and tail burning with bright orange flames.
Oh no.
The nightmare has entered the fight.
Is it the one that I've been dreaming about?
Yes.
Ah, shit, why have I been dreaming about it? That's horrifying. I hate this.
Okay, the nightmare has rolled its own initiative and will act on its turn.
Oh, so you can't save Death Winnie. Not if you watch Doctor. I'm now singing Dr. Horrible in my head.
Okay.
No!
Bad horse. He's bad.
His Winnie. His terrible death Winnie. You don't need that.
Okay.
This is scary, not fun.
And with that, roll a d100.
Ah, shit.
Oh boy.
97.
97. This sounds familiar.
Yeah, it does.
I feel like we've
doesn't
had that one.
Okay, Scamp. And actually everyone else, suddenly you just hear, as if it's coming from nowhere, violins, just orchestral music playing.
Is it much like the soundtrack?
It is exactly like the
No, I
soundtrack.
hate this. It's horrible.
I don't think that's particularly helpful at this moment.
it? Once in a while, Scamp breaks the fourth wall, and the soundtrack comes in.
And it does kind of feel as if, like this nightmare has actually broken through.
Oh, Jason just knocked all of his dice onto the floor.
Well, it wasn't the dice I was using.
Oh,
It's broken, and
Well, that was
with
dramatic
the
moment.
sound of cracking reality and falling dice. The nightmare has broken
Okay.
into this world.
I go, Scamp, is that you or the horse?
I honestly don't know.
Okay, Vera, now that what she has been waiting for has arrived, turns her attention entirely onto the nightmare. and is going to attack it. Fucking hell, Vera! You have one job. No, as the crystal-laced arrow fires after it, you can see the nightmare kind of flicks its head, and part of its mane seems to catch the arrow and deflect it off to one side. She readies her second arrow. I don't know if she actually gets to make the second one with this. No, it's the next time you hit. So she takes another arrow. Her second arrow, it begins to glow with the radiant crystal effect. This one she does manage to strike the nightmare's flank at least. And you see, that's 13 points of damage to it at least as it strikes the side and splinters. A gout of flame bursts out of its flank in place of blood.
Oof.
Okay, that's Vera's turn.
Fire against this.
That's Vera's turn. Corzin.
Okay.
Good luck.
Well, this has presented Corzin with a real dilemma, but I think mainly what he's going to be having to do is get rid of these shadows quickly.
Yep.
So,
Actually, Corzin, can I have you make a perception check because you might be the only person in place to do this.
Okay.
Depending on where you're positioned.
That's an 11.
Okay, you don't see anything else that would help you. Carry on.
Fair enough. Okay. Right, what I'm going to do is... My hunter's mark is still on the one that was over...
Oh, no, it's gone now. That one is dead.
Oh, it's gone, okay. Right, well, I better use my bonus action to move that to one of the ones that's next to me. That would be sensible.
Okay, bear in mind, if you use that as your bonus action, then you don't get to make an attack with that.
Yeah, it's still a trade-off, but I'm going to.
More damage
it still
on one.
means that
Yeah.
overall I'm going to do more damage, hopefully.
And in the long term as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, alright, so which one around me looks the weakest
They
currently?
all look at full strength. There is one that appears to be a doddering old woman.
Inside his head, Corzin very quickly goes, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, that's a 16 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
Right, okay, so that's 9 slashing damage.
Including your...
further 2, so that's 11 with the hunter's mark.
Okay, it's not enough to drop it, but you do take a good portion out of it with death. All right.
Okay. I'm surrounded, so there's pretty much nothing else I can do.
Celestia.
Okay, Celestia's going to look at the nightmare, and she's going to try and make eye contact with it, and she's going to go, "Yeah, I've exploded a horse before," and she's going to cast Dissonant Whispers at second level.
Brilliant.
This is a wisdom save.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
12. No, that doesn't hit.
Woo! Okay, so that is going to be 4d6 psychic damage. Okay, that's not terrible. 15.
Okay. The horse's head explodes. It tears away, and the chunks seem to swirl in midair before reforming back onto its skull. And as it does so, there is a... and its mane, its hooves, and its tail all turn from bright orange flame to like curls of blue frost. Just ice and snow flaring out of it.
Celestia's just going to quietly go, "Well, fuck."
Okay, anything else you want to do?
That's heavy metal.
Oh god. Yeah, I might heal myself, having looked over at the fucking terrifying horse. I think I'm going to do that, so I'm going to go kick my heel up, ding, on the xylophone, and healing word fun.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Maybe a wise choice.
Okay, that's 7 points back, so that's good.
Okay. So the nightmare, seeing your challenge, moves to answer it.
I'm such a fucking idiot.
It gallops towards you and kicks both of its front hooves forward.
I'm gonna die. It's gonna be all my fault.
That was an actual 19, so...
Oh, it so hits.
Yeah, so you take 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, well, that's me
And-
down.
Are you down?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay. Well, there was cold damage as well, but it doesn't matter.
Down.
Yeah.
I had exactly 17
It just
hit points.
kicks you into the wall. And you see Celestia smack against the wall, cold frost spreading across the 2 hoof prints in her chest. And the sickening sound of ribs cracking.
Ooh,
Celestia slumps to the ground.
very broken.
Nightmares. Okay, the shadows are going to continue clustering around Corzin. They do not seem concerned by this thing, for whatever
I
reason.
didn't imagine they would be.
Yeah. No. 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 Yes. 1 hits. And that one does 9.5 to 4 points of necrotic damage.
Okay.
And 3.5 to 1 point of strength drain.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, once again, really, really happy I'm not a strength-based character.
Yep.
Yeah, this would suck for a barbarian.
Yeah. Rusty and Knuckles both run over to their respective to the other two, and they pull out each one's hidden healing potion, and are going to quite quickly bring them back up onto their feet. As they do so, literally helping them onto the feet, they can see them go, "Mate, we are fucked." And then you can see them looking as if trying to decide whether they have better odds escaping through the hole in the floor off to one side, trying to make it down the stairs, or whether they have even a chance of fighting this out.
Do I, as Corzin, see this?
Oh yeah.
And there are 4 shadows left, right?
Yeah.
All clustered around me.
Yeah.
I yell at them and say, if you die, we all die.
Right. They seem a little confused, but give me ask your choice, either persuasion or intimidation.
Both as bad as each other. That's a 10.
They seem a little confused by your classically Corzin-esque wording, but they get the message, and it seems that they might not bolt. Hard to say. They're out of actions and movement for this round anyway. Okay. Top of the round. Scamp.
How far away is Celestia from me?
Celestia is 30 feet away from you because you moved closer.
Yeah.
And so is the Nightmare.
Right, I will move up to Celestia.
Okay.
Thank you.
And use the eel statue.
Okay. Shoving the eel statue onto her flesh, you whisper the strange Salagin wording, and the statue pulses for a moment with light as it ripples down the eel's scales.
At 6 hit points.
Okay, it's something. I mean, I've still got broken ribs, but like I can move.
The ribs are slightly knitted, like they're clean breaks enough for the enough for healing magic to
I
work.
just think I sort of come back and go, oh, thank you, thanks, great, ow.
And I'm just gonna stand over Celestia.
Okay.
Oh,
As though that'll help. Because I can't move any
that's
further.
so cute, mate.
I have nothing else to do.
Okay. Initial count 20. The wound now begins to shiver as if it's going to get, just as if it's as if it's uncertain whether it's staying open or closing now. However, Tides is still dormant, so there's no other effect. That makes it Vira's go. Vira is incredibly focused. She has one job to do, and she is doing it. So she is going to crystallize another arrow and attack the Nightmare. Hits. Does another 18 points of damage because she Yeah, she has one job, and this is what she does. Second one misses, however. She tries to shoot a normal arrow at it. As the second arrow strikes the nightmare, it splinters, carving deep chunks into the nightmare's flesh. Just gouts of frozen air emerge from it, and then they knit together, and with another, it flicks its mane, and it turns from gusts of cold, icy wind to just a mane of lightning.
Ooh.
Which is now.
I have no idea what to hit this thing with.
Yeah.
Me neither. None.
Make
Other than radiant.
Make an intelligence check, Scamp.
Because I'm super smart. That's an 11. 12.
You get the feeling that whatever its abilities are, they seem to relate to how its mane is manifesting. So probably changing with each change.
Okay.
Okay. That's the end of Vira's turn. Corzin.
Alright. Is using the rope of binding going to be an action?
Yes. But I like the way you think.
Okay. Yeah, solid. He's gonna call out to Vera, I hope you're right about this thing! And he's gonna throw it out towards the nightmare and attempt to bind it into place.
Okay, the nightmare rolled a natural 4. As the rope hits the nightmare, it seems to come to life, winding round around the thing's torso, grabbing its legs and pulling them all inwards. Its head is forced in as well. The thing is suddenly just basically just hog-tied as it flops to the ground, barely able to move. Okay, it repeats its save on the end of its turn, but it is no longer able to act. Which is good, because I think that also stops it taking its legendary action, which it would have done at the end of your turn. So,
Shit.
the nightmare is paralysed.
Make the most of it.
Yep. Do you want to use... You do have your bonus, so I guess you could take one attack.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna take one attack on the same shadow that I hit
Go
before.
for it. Make your attack roll.
16.
Okay, that hits. Roll damage with your hunter's mark.
6 damage.
Okay. You scatter it into fragments. It is gone.
Okay.
Okay. So
3 to
3
go.
to go. Celestia.
God, I'm really struggling to know what to do, guys.
You're,
It's like, seriously.
yeah, you are up. The nightmare is paralysed in front of you.
I mean, do I have any idea about... No, I rolled the other day.
Yeah.
I don't have any idea about this.
You do not have any idea
Yeah,
about this.
because I asked you
Yeah.
out of character the other day and you said roll and I rolled a 1, so I really don't have
you
any
have
idea.
no fucking idea what the hell this thing is.
Shit, so I have no idea what to hit it with. I probably don't know about the changing mane. What do I think Dissonant Whispers
I mean,
did to it on its
you-
first
you
turn?
know
Did that
enough to-
damage?
Yeah, it seemed to affect it perfectly. There seems to be
Okay,
no-
the main changed, but there was damage that happened,
Yeah.
as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it tore its head off. It just appeared to reform its head afterwards.
Not many things are resistant to psychic, so I'm tempted to do another one of those. I'm going to look down at it and I'm going to go, oh, can't you move? And I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers again at second level, because it's the highest damage on a single thing I have.
It was on a natural 20 and then it rolled to a 2. It failed.
Yes, good. Okay. Oh, that is shit. Fuck it. 8.
Okay.
Well, at least you can
Oh no,
viciously
it's
mock
7.
it.
Sorry.
Okay. You do see a crack form in its skull, and lightning begins to just spark out of the crack.
Well, that's fucking second level spell as well. Ah.
Alas. Okay. That makes it the nightmare's go. The nightmare is going to try and break free. That's not quite enough. Nope. It remains bound. You see it struggle against the ropes, but it can't quite move. It's still hog-tied into position. The shadows are going to act, so that's 3 attacks against Corzin now.
Bring it.
1 crit.
Oh.
1 crit.
Don't bring it.
1 crit fail, and 1 disorderly fail.
Okay.
So 7 to 14 to 16, half to 8 necrotic damage,
Okay.
and 2 half to 1 point of strength damage.
Okay. Right, so I now have a strength score of 8,
Okay.
and my hit points are 8 points of damage. You say?
Yep.
Right. That's right. I'm down to about a quarter hit points.
Right. Yeah. Corzin's looking pretty drained.
Yeah.
Okay. The also at this point, the second wave of 4 shadows use up their action. They're dashing. They make it to the top of the stairs.
Oh God.
There are now 7 shadows total in play.
Forgot about them. Yeah.
That's really annoying.
Rusty and Co are going to act now, and they're going to try and get some of the. They're actually no longer with disadvantage. They're going to take their muskets and try and attack the ones on Corzin.
Thin red line. Thin red line.
Oh. Hit. Miss. Hit. Huzzah. Oh wait, no, there's a 4th one. Miss. Okay, 2 of them hit at least. Doing 4 half to 2 to one of them, and 11 half to 5 to another. But at least it's something to both. They are weakening the shadows around Corzin. Okay. Top of the round. Scamp.
Right.
More shadows are entering the fray, but the nightmare is still bound at your feet.
There's a lot going on right now.
What does it being bound mean?
It is paralysed, so it is incapacitated. It fails strength and dex saves. You have advantage on attacks against it. Any attack within 5 feet is an auto crit if it hits.
Does that include ranged attacks that happen to be
Yes. Yeah. 5 foot range attacks still count.
Okay, then I'm going to use my last sorcery point and twin a chromatic orb.
Okay. Go for it.
So I've got advantage because it's paralysed, but disadvantage for being close.
No.
I can step back.
No.
I can take a step back.
You don't get disadvantage while it's paralysed. You just have straight advantage. Yeah,
Okay.
well, a creature which is paralysed is not threatening you, so...
Okay,
And it can't actually do anything to avoid the
Yeah,
attack.
which is why you have advantage.
right. So advantage against the horse, and it's currently still lightning, isn't it?
Yes.
Then I'll do thunder damage.
Appropriate.
Seems appropriate. Yeah, it's a 25.
That hits, roll damage.
It's just a level 1. Can't twin anything higher. That's a D10, so I'm going to not roll that one.
Nope.
That's 14 thunder damage.
Okay.
But it's a crit because I'm within 5
Yep.
feet. So whatever I said twice. 28.
28.
Nice.
So are you...
Nice.
Did you say you were twinning this?
Yep, and I'm going to Tide to Chaos the second one
Okay.
against whichever shadow's looking weakest.
Okay, there's one of the 3. I'll let you just do that first, please.
Oh, good thing I doubled that. So that's a 17.
That hits, rolls
otherwise it
damage.
would've been a 1.
Should be bad news for Corzin at this point.
20.
Okay, one of the shadows next to Corzin is completely obliterated by the blast
Nice.
of thunder. As you strike, one ball goes off and obliterates the shadow. With the second one, you focus down on the nightmare in front of you. Finish it.
What?
No way!
You guys have... paralysis worked really well on this thing.
Fit!
Yeah. I'm going to make it explode because that's what happened to the last one.
Okay.
And I'm using thunder damage, and I feel like that's probably would.
Okay,
Because it's like force,
yeah,
isn't it? It's going to explode.
As you strike the pulse of the ball into the nightmare's head, you notice this ball seems weirdly layered, like there's a second one inside it. It strikes the head, the first ball explodes, and the nightmare's head completely disintegrates, and then flows back into existence, and its mane turns from lightning to just waves of acid. But the second ball then ignites after it, and with a terrifying thump, the nightmare's head and entire front half of its torso are just torn apart. Parts of it scatter, they splatter across the room, and then you watch as, just in a moment, as all of the parts, all the fragments of it begin to wisp and crumble and fade away, disappearing into the air, as if the whole thing was never real to start with.
Oh, don't
Hate that.
I don't like it.
Roll a d100.
Oh, that's gross. Oh no! Oh no, 13. I don't know that one. That seems like it's going to be bad.
13 is new.
Unlucky for some.
Okay.
Am I going to kill Celestia? Is that what's going to happen here? No.
No.
Good.
However,
I mean, it's
everything,
not good, but it's not
everything as you blink, it's everything is strange. The world seems to be filled with a strangeness, and you find it's like you're looking around, but you're not here. It's like you're standing on a cliff by the edge of a sea made of just tides of fingernails crashing against cliffs
Holy
of bone.
shit.
Oh,
You are, for the next, let me see how long. Here we go.
Can I be again pedantic about the wording of
Yeah,
this?
yeah.
I cast confusion centered on
You
myself.
do.
So, it's a
So, yeah,
spell.
so this is-
So there is a save, but it also affects people within
Oh
10
shit!
feet.
Okay,
10
yeah.
feet
So
space.
yeah, it's also concentration up to a minute. So
So what kind of save is it?
But the concentration just happens.
it just
because
happens
it's
because
not.
it's yeah. So
Yeah,
can I
otherwise
have
I'd drop
So
it
can I have a
immediately.
wisdom save from you and Celestia?
God,
please?
we're so wise. That's gonna go so well.
I know. We're great at
Fuck,
this.
come on. Shit, that's not enough.
It's going to be my DC as well.
10.
11.
Yeah, both of you just
No, 10
yeah.
in fact.
The world seems to fall away, and you see yourself, and you're just on this cliff with a tide of fingernails beneath, and you are surrounded by strange shadowy figures, and you're not sure what the fuck is happening. We'll get to what
How
you
long
do.
does that last?
I'll put
a minute, but you can save at the end of
You
each
save
round.
the end of each turn. Yeah.
I'm sorry!
Corzin, as the creature explodes and its parts seem to fade away, you notice it. You turn and you look, and you see Celestia and Scamp are both staring directly into the portal.
Oh no.
Oh, shit. You are a bad man.
Okay, that's initiative count 20 done. Yeah, Corzin, as you're watching, the portal is shaking and twisting, and the wound seems to slowly be beginning to seal itself closed, but it's still open. It is still open. Vera is going to take her focus onto the two next to you, Corzin. Now that the creature is dead, she's fulfilling her bargain and helping you dispatch the rest of this nest. So, hits one against you does. Yeah, no, that's 15 points of damage. One of the ones next to you is just splintered by weird crystal arrow. The second one, however, causing you proceed to take 10 points of damage from getting shot.
Shit.
Oh.
Are you down?
No, not quite.
Good. Because we're going to be fuck all
You
help
just hear
for a bit.
from Vera's
Yeah.
position. Shit!
Yeah, physician, heal thyself, please, because we
I
cannot.
I sort of look at her with a sort of like, what?
She raises her hand sort of apologetically. Sorry. Was aiming for the one next to you.
We will have words about this, assuming we survive. There is still the arrow sticking out. Where did it hit him?
I'm gonna say just in the shoulder.
Okay, yeah, it's still. He's not even bothering to pull it
Yeah.
out. He knows enough about arrow wounds that he knows it's a bad idea to pull them
Yeah,
out
you
straight
shouldn't
away.
really, should
Yeah.
you? I mean, bleeds.
Okay, Corzin, it is your go.
All right. There's only one other shadow left, but there are 4 coming up the stairs, aren't there?
They will be acting on this turn.
Bollocks.
All
We're
right.
so fucked.
No. Okay, right. Well, I'm going to have to expend another spell slot and cast Cure Wounds on myself, because
Yeah.
otherwise I'm probably not going to
Well,
survive.
if you're
next
down
one,
and
so
we're
that's-
mental, like, we've got no hope. So you're absolutely right to do that.
That's okay. So that's a D8 plus 3, I think. Okay, I have doubled my remaining hit points.
Woo!
I'm now on 12.
Better than nothing, mate.
Can I use my bonus action then to move my hunter's mark onto the remaining shadow that's near
Yes, yes, you can. It is now Hunter's Mark.
me? Okay.
Okay. Whoa. Celestia, roll a d10.
D10.
Yeah.
Shit, this is going to be something really bad.
It's how the confusion
Okay,
spell
5.
works.
5.
I actually know nothing about the confusion spells. This is really interesting.
Okay. You find yourself like. Okay. You're on this cliff. What do? You can
Get away from the edge and heal myself a bit because
Okay,
everything's
yeah.
terrifying.
You run to the edge of the cliff. You cast healing.
No, I get away from the edge of the cliff.
Sorry, you run away from the edge of the cliff.
I'm not going to go towards
Yeah,
the edge.
further indoors. You can see that like, further within. You can see that this strange landscape stretches out in front
so
of you.
I ding up with my
filled
heal.
Yep. You don't lose a spell slot, and you don't get any spells, and you don't any hit points.
Right?
Yeah. You run to the further into this strange land, and there's black grass everywhere, and you heal yourself. Corzin, you see Celestia just sitting stock still, staring at the wound. She does nothing.
Ugh.
Okay.
Do I get a save though?
Oh, now
Is
you
it the end
take
of
now
my
you may
turn?
take your save at the end of
Cool,
your turn.
cool. But I
yeah.
don't lose a spell slot.
No,
either.
you don't lose a spell slot, but you don't realise you're not doing anything.
Shit. 5.
No, you are still confused.
Fucking bards, man. We're so stupid.
Okay, the nightmare is gone. So it doesn't take a turn. The shadows are going to act now, however. So, who have they got left? Who have they got to attack? There are still 8 targets, so I'm just going to roll a d8 for each of them. Okay, one's going for Rusty.
Oh dear. Well, I'd rather.
Yep, 1 for Shaz,
Good.
2 for Shaz,
Operation
Fuck Shaz.
Meat Shield.
and 1 for Corzin.
Oh.
Okay, so Corzin's got another one
Yeah.
coming to him. Okay.
So
We've been so unhelpful in your predicament. Like, it's unbelievable.
yeah. So
I got rid of one.
one of those does hit you, Corzin, unfortunately.
Shit. Okay.
Yep. You take 10 half to 5 points of necrotic damage. Oh, and that was a 4,
Okay.
so 2 points of strength.
Oh.
All right.
Okay.
It's 11 to that then, and okay, 5 necrotic. You said.
No. 2 necrotic. Sorry, yeah, 5 necrotic total and 2 strength.
Right. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
That's undone all but one of the hit points I just
Good
regained.
thing you healed yourself then.
Yeah, you can see now
Yes, it
Corzin's
is.
skin is looking pale, is pallid and white, and his veins are just... his veins...
Well, we can't
Well,
see.
yes.
No.
Only Vera can really see this and the B team, but they can see that Corzin's veins seem to be just turning black.
Yeah, he is still gazing at them with steely hatred in his eyes, but he's got. You see, any of his swings now are all finesse. They are not at all strength. It's just it's the weight of the blades that are doing the damage.
Yeah. Okay. One overexposes themselves. The other one hits Shaz, who takes attacks. Not enough damage to kill them. Shaz is still standing. Good for Shaz. Rusty's fine as well. Although they do take 3 points of strength damage. They're still up. Okay. It's time for the B team. Rusty's going to have to attack the one in front of him with disadvantage. Which is really annoying because one of those was a natural 20, but the other doesn't hit. Shaz is going to have to do the same. Nope. Knuckles and Spoons, though, can fire normally, and they're going to attack the ones that are on Rusty and Shaz, respectively. Hit. So one did 10 halved to 5 damage. Actually that one should have been with advantage. Still hits. And one does 8 half to 4. So yeah, they're slowly making a difference. They're not contributing much, but they are contributing. Okay, top of the round. Scamp, roll a d10.
10.
Okay,
Yes.
you shake your head, and you can now see that actually looking at the you're actually looking at the wound in the world, and you can see this cliff with the tide of fingernails beneath it through the portal. But the world is, you're not in there. You're not actually in there. You're out here in the real world. You can act normally on this round.
Well done.
Okay, How are the ones around Corzin looking?
Around Corzin, they're all pretty much in. The three around Corzin are all intact. Sorry, the one around the two next to Corzin are both intact. One next to Rusty is intact, and the two on Shaz are both injured.
I run out of sorcery points, unfortunately, so I will just do and first level spells. I'll do a second level chromatic orb at one of the ones next to Corzin.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm going to tie it to
Okay.
Solid. It's a second level
Yep.
spell. I don't want to miss. Lots.
Yeah, that hits. Roll damage.
And I'll do thunder, I guess. That seemed to. I'll not do anything more. Oh, that's not good. That 18.
Half to 9, but it's still that still significantly weakens it as the thunder blast.
And I'm going to
strikes
step
through it.
away from Celestia.
Okay, roll your wisdom
Like a
save.
good distance. 3.
Why are we so stupid?
The world continues to. You can't help but your gaze be drawn back to the portal. Roll a d100.
Oh, so much badness. 50.
Okay. As you try to turn, and yes. I'd like to ask: is there anything you'd like to try and say to the rest of the party while you're still Compos Mentis?
I think I've just been swearing under my breath pretty much constantly since the horse arrived.
Okay, as you swear, you look down, you notice no words are coming out. Instead, it's just tiny pink bubbles are just floating out instead of words.
That's so weird. What the fuck?
So you're just frothing pink.
Is that going to affect...
I'm going to say it doesn't affect your
Verbal
verbal... I was
spells.
going to say it doesn't affect your verbal spells, but you can't intelligently speak to anyone else.
Like the
You suddenly
intention of what you're
got-
saying is still there,
Yeah.
and technically sound is coming out, but we wouldn't be able to hear it.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah, it's being garbled by pink bubbles
But they're not
for
silenced.
the next minute. Yeah, not silent.
You're suddenly in a graphic novel.
Yep. Okay, Vera is going to try and take out the one on Corzin, which hits.
Come on, Vera.
Yeah, no, it's gone. 11 points of damage. One of the two on Corzin is destroyed. The other one, she's going to shoot at the other one as well, just in case. No, natural 2. Smacks against the wall with a normal arrow. Okay, Corzin, there is one on you. The other 3 are busy. There's only 4 shadows left. The other 3 are busy with Rusty and co. But one is on you. It's at full strength, and your hunter's mark is on it.
Okay. Question:
Yes.
If I were to try and use the holy water on it, will I have disadvantage as it's in melee with
No,
me?
no.
No, we've done
We've
that
established
before.
that you
Yeah.
can pour within 5 feet.
Right. Okay. I am going to do that, and I am also going to use a ranger ability I've not used before.
Oh!
Fun.
Slayer's Prey.
Ha ha!
I don't know what that
What
does.
is that?
Essentially, what that does is, once per short rest, I can do an extra d6 on top of what I already do.
Yeah.
So layering that with the hunter's mark, I can do an extra 2d6 if I hit with
Yeah,
this.
you were basically. I get the feeling you were probably waiting to use that on what ultimately turned out to be the nightmare, but other things happened.
Yeah, yeah. And the advantage with this is all I need is a short or a long rest to recover it. I don't need to expend
Okay,
spells.
roll your attack.
That's good. That's a 23.
Roll 4d6.
Yes.
Right.
Kill it.
5 and 6 is 11 and 3 is 14
On.
and 1 is 15.
Oh, it was at full strength. It is now down to 1 hit
Oh, for
point.
fuck's sake.
Oh, it's not quite enough. It's just like fragmentarily not quite enough. As you pour the liquid on it, it's almost completely destroyed. But as it splashes to the ground, it's just able to get to reform itself as a very, very pale echo of its former self. Celestia, roll a d10.
Oh god, I hate this. 10.
You blink. No, you're not on the plane of black grass. The plane of black grass is in the portal. You've been staring at the portal. You wrench your gaze away from it, though it continues to pull your focus back to it. You can act normally this round.
Okay. Oh god, what can I even see at this point?
You can see 1 very faint shadow is attacking Corzin. 3 are on the B team. Everybody else seems up, although Scamp is... You can see now that Scamp is just stood in place, staring at the portal, pink froth coming from their mouth.
Oh, that's so creepy. Fuck. That's horrible. Hang on. Give me a minute. Okay. So, can I see how bad the one on Corzin is looking? Like, it looks fucked, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks incredibly fucked. It's barely there.
I'm just...
Corzin doesn't look that much less fucked.
Okay, I'm going to look at the one on Corzin, and I'm going to go, just die, you fucker! And I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery. So, yeah, Wisdom.
It failed.
Whoa! Okay,
And
it's
you don't
going
even
to
need to roll
die.
for that.
It super dies.
Yeah, it just turns back to you, and there's a brief moment where you can almost see, like, although it's only body posture, you can see, like, an expression of shock and surprise before it just fades away.
Okay, and I am going to... Oh, how fucked are you looking, Corzin, darling? No, don't tell me how many, but, like, how fucked are you? Really fucked?
Corzin is looking very fucked.
Okay.
Yeah, like visually, you can see he is struggling to stand.
Okay, actually, I'm still within 60 feet of everybody, and I can do this as a use of inspiration, so I'm gonna beat my chest and go, "Oi!" And the rainbow spirit is gonna flare out of both of the points that my hands come out, and you're all gonna get 5 temporary hit points, and you can move up to your movement if you want to.
Thank you.
I don't think I noticed.
No.
I am going to...
But I think maybe you do
I'm
get
going
5 temporary hit points.
You still get the hit points. That's
So
yeah.
that's
I
nice.
still got them.
Oh no, you haven't actually
Never
been
mind.
injured.
Well, fuck it.
That protection against evil has worked
though.
really well.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to move slowly but surely towards the B team.
Yeah.
He's
Oh.
sheathing his swords for a moment, taking the blunderbuss off his back and starting to reload
Yeah.
it.
I didn't do a wisdom save at the end of that turn.
That's right. I was about to call you for one from you.
Cool. I will do that. 9.
so fucked.
You, as the moment ends, you find your gaze turning back to the portal, and you're back in the field of black grass
Balls, mate.
by the edge of the cliff. Shadowy figures all around you. Speaking of shadowy figures,
No, I didn't use a spell.
these things are going to try and kill Rusty. Fail to kill Shaz. Maybe not fail to kill Shaz. Rusty's alive, at least. Good news for Rusty. Though he's not looking happy at all. He is visibly sagging. But he's going to live, maybe, if he makes it through this round.
He does have his temporary ones.
Sorry?
He does have his temporary ones.
Yep. Has his temporary ones. They have literally saved his life. They've very explicitly saved Shaz's life, who is down to 1.
I was going to say, do the people who are already unconscious get them?
They get them, but
They don't see me.
That's the thing.
And I think it's about me being within line of sight.
Yeah.
Because it's to
Right.
do with how I look. I give myself a wondrous appearance. So I imagine if you can't see me, you don't get
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But Rusty and Shaz at least are restored momentarily. Okay, Rusty and Shaz are going to try and fight back against these fuckers. Nope for Rusty, nope for Shaz, but Knuckles and Spoons can at least try and do something. Oh, crit from Knuckles. Miss from
Yes.
Spoons.
Yes, Knuckles.
But, actually no, that one has just... Nope, still. That's good. Okay, so... Come on, Knuckles, roll high. Knuckles rolled not terribly, actually. So that was... Okay, it was 17 halved to 8, but at least it's, it's not entirely killed, but it's now barely there. One of the ones on Spoons.
They're all still up, aren't
They're all still up.
Just.
Scamp. Roll me a d10.
Oh, no.
Damn our lack of wisdom, mate.
5.
5. Okay, you're on the edge of the cliff. What do you want to do?
I'm going to just sort of poke the bubbles that are coming out my
Okay.
mouth. There's no one around and there's nothing to do.
Okay, the bubbles
Everything's
the
fine
bubbles
here.
turn into pink moths that fly away.
Oh.
Oh, pretty.
Everyone else, Scamp is just standing in place, shoving their hand into their mouth while bubbles float around it, staring into the gap.
Fucking hell, Scamp.
so useless. Unbelievably useless.
The wound in the world seems to quake and grow a little bit slimmer this time. Like it's slowly beginning to close.
I get
You
my
get your wisdom save.
don't I? That's a 10.
No.
It's still
No.
standing,
Oh, no,
chewing
it's a
your
9.
own fucking hand.
It's like you're having an arcane seizure.
Pretty much. This spell is so much more powerful than I can cast. It's a 4th level
Fucking
spell.
hell, that's way above any of us right now.
Yeah. Okay, Vera takes out one of the ones, the weakened one on Shaz, and is going to go for one of the other one on Shaz because it's already injured. With one of the not enchanted, but enhanced arrows. That's like 50. Yeah, okay. She takes out the one on Spoons. There's only Corzin. It's your turn. There is only one shadow left on Rusty, still fully intact, but clawing at him with everything it has.
Oh, if there's only one left, then I'm gonna shoulder the blunderbuss again because that was going to take another round to
It
reload.
takes a bonus action to reload it. So yeah, I mean, I guess you
Okay.
could stick the slug shot in.
That's a point, actually. If I could do the slug shot on this one,
Yeah.
then yes. But I thought the way we'd ruled it before was it was basically like the swivel guns.
I've since changed it, so the rule is it takes a bonus action to reload the blunderbuss with either slug shot or
Right.
grape shot, and then an action to fire it.
Fair enough. Okay, I will reload it with slug shot.
Okay,
Then
make an attack roll.
get to the appropriate
30
distance
feet away and then
bang.
just bang.
Come on. Fuck. That's 11.
Okay, the slug smacks into the wall, shaking the masonry and causing dust to billow out, but not completely destroying a shadow in the process.
God dang
Still
it.
3 left?
1 left.
1 left. Jesus
Celestia, roll a
Christ.
d10. Hope for a 9 or 10.
4.
Okay, is that the walk into the portal one? No, it's not.
Oh, good.
Okay.
No. What?
There would be one, wouldn't there? I mean, yeah.
So that's a... you're back in the black field. What do you do?
Am I back on the edge, or am I in the same place?
No,
that
you're
I
in the
was
same place you left.
Have a look around, see if I can see anything useful.
Okay. Looking around, make a perception check.
5.
There
No,
are
6.
tall trees
7.
made
Sorry.
of bone with leaves of skin. Looking, you can see a figure peers from behind it with tall, long, thin, pale white limbs and a neck sewn on with rough rope stitching. It peers at you for a moment with soulless black eyes.
Do I recognise it?
Make an intelligence check.
That's a 14.
Yes. It passes,
Fucking Stringer Smith, isn't
it
it?
passes behind this the tree and out
Is
of
it
your
Stringer
sight.
Smith?
It's Stringer Smith.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so
He keeps coming back!
Hate that. Hate that somebody else has seen him other than you, actually. That's really creepy.
so that makes it. Roll a wisdom save.
12.
No, you're still in this strange,
Fuck it.
strange black plain with trees of bone and flesh.
And Stringer Smith. Just there.
And Stringer
chilling
Smith.
behind a tree.
Yeah. Shadow's gonna try and kill Rusty because this thing is not intelligent. Okay, Rusty is down.
Rusty's had a shit day.
Rusty's had a shit day. Rusty is on 1 strength. He is almost entirely dead.
Oh!
Oh.
Yeah, Rusty is.
But he's not dead.
He's not dead now. He is. He was on 5 strength. He's now on 1 strength. And the creature just has both hands plunged into his chest, driven by insatiable hunger and nothing else. So the other 3 are going to try and destroy it. That was cocked. Crit. So one of them inflicts 2 failed death saving throws on Rusty by mistake.
Oh no!
Actually, it's a ranged attack, so 1 failed death saving throw. As they accidentally shoot Rusty. Well.
Fuck Rusty.
2 of them do hit, 1 with a crit. So the one without a crit does 7 half to 3. The one with a crit does 13 half to 6, so 9 points of damage. So they at least knock out some of its essence. Top of the round, Scamp. What's probably the last round? Roll me a d10.
6.
Okay, you continue. What do you do? You're in the edge of the cliff. You're seeing these strange, colourful moths escape from your mouth.
I'm gonna try and call for friend.
Okay,
Aww.
as you do so, you turn and you can see there is next to you what looks a kind of vague, a tall, silvery humanoid figure. Their face kind of insubstantial and uncertain, but there is a kind of vaguely skull-like quality, although it's not explicitly a skull. They turn to you and say, "Keep fast, my friend. This is almost done."
Ooh, interesting.
Roll a wisdom save.
Was it?
8.
Okay.
God damn my high DC.
You're still in the strange cliff. Okay.
For another 42 seconds.
Yep.
Because I am not going to save from this.
Okay. And I think just to finish this off, this is probably going to do it. Okay, Vera launches a shot at the last shadow and splinters it. The remainder, at this point, Shaz reaches down, manages to takes from Knuckles the one remaining healing potion from the 4 of them, tips it to Rusty's mouth. And there is just a moment of calm. As you look into the centre of the room, the wound in the world has become unstable. It pulses, it shivers, and then slowly, and you can almost hear a crunching sound, it seals shut into a thin black line, which then fades out of existence.
What do we see under confusion?
The pair of you see the world seem to twist and crack around you, and then you blink, and you just see the last moments of the portal closing and going. You are alone in the chamber. The four members of Rusty's crew take up positions at the stairwell. They look around, but it seems that no more shadows are returning. Any others either didn't make it back or have tried to flee elsewhere. You hold in position until 20 minutes later, the rays of dawn finally begin to filter into the room.
I'm going to go around systematically and clean all the windows so that this isn't a dark space anymore.
You do. The windows are cleaned away, and when light does come, it shines clearly in illuminating the space.
Oh, with prestidigitation, I should say,
Yeah.
not just wiping the windows
Yeah.
in. Fancy about it.
As you look down, you can see that already the plants of bone and fingernails have begun to wither, and in places they are actually starting to slowly fade and wisp out of existence.
Scamp,
Corzin.
sorry.
Okay, sorry, go on.
Scamp, was that you, or was that the crack?
What?
The weird stuff that happened. Did you see weird stuff? I saw weird stuff.
I saw lots of weird stuff. The evil gash in the world made everything weird. I didn't have much control.
It's alright, I was just wondering where it had come from. Corzin. So,
The bubbles were fun.
what bubbles?
Yeah, by this point the bubbles have stopped.
I didn't see them, I was
Yeah.
insane
Yeah.
for the whole time.
Yeah. You can see just like a little bit of pink residue around Scamp's beard.
Hey, Corzin,
Yeah, still got the hood up the whole time.
weird thing.
Yeah.
Saw Stringer Smith while I was nuts.
The hell?
Yeah, there was this whole sort of world made of
Alright, he
different
turns-
flesh bits, and he was hiding
He
behind a
tu-
tree.
Sounds about right for him, although I'm not entirely sure what is anymore. With the last ounce of strength, he moves himself over to a window where the rays of dawn are coming in.
Vera, you can see, is leaning against the wall. She has lit her pipe. Is just smoking some... It smells mostly like tobacco. There's a couple of weird scents coming out of it as well. Kind of spicy.
Alright, Vera. Start yakking. And I better like what I hear. What in the name of the Regent was that?
That was a problem that I came to solve. Shouldn't happen again. Not for a few years at least. I find these when they happen
What?
and I stop them.
What even causes that?
That's one of the questions I'm not gonna... I gave you those things so I didn't have to answer.
Vera,
Well, I'm bloody well keeping this. And he picks up the rope.
The rope has now become entirely non-magical. It had one use.
that's so annoying.
It was a very powerful use when you had it.
Yeah.
But
Yes, it was.
Vera, I have been dreaming about that horse the last few days. Is that weird?
under the circumstances, no, I'd say it was probably following you.
Why?
No comment. She takes another draft from her pipe.
Like me specifically, or just...
She shrugs. The three of you are important. I can see that just by looking at you. Maybe you're just fated to have weird things happen to you, or strange things take an interest in you.
I can believe that.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Vera shoulders her pack. Well, I need to go to find the next one of these to stop. Can't stick around, I'm afraid. But if you're looking for someone to get involved in this sort of dangerous thing again, if there's any more of these you need to stop, I might recommend trying to look up my cousin. I'm sure he'd be more than willing to get involved.
You really have no comment on why the monster was stalking me in particular, because that might be something I need to know for the future and survival and things.
I think it found you interesting, but I think it's more likely that you just have a particularly potent presence, and that's what drew it to you.
I do have a particularly potent presence.
In any case, there's nothing you can do about that except change everything about who you are.
No, you're alright, thanks.
Well then. I imagine it was probably a combination of this and there already being a weak spot here. The shadows probably weakened it a little further, and then with you in the mix, that was enough for it to push through.
Are there many of these things around the world then?
Plenty enough to keep me busy. It's my job to make sure that they don't spill over. Thanks for helping me on this one.
You're very welcome, I'm sure.
Gives you a nod, and then moves over towards the rope leading down. Well, I'm sure I'll be seeing you all again.
Looking forward to it.
Probably.
Keep yourselves alive. The world's more interesting with the three of you in it. And
Same
she
to you.
begins climbing her way down the rope.
Okay, are the other 4 members of the
Yeah, they look
the B team,
they
okay.
look weak and exhausted and very ready to go to go to bed, but they are alive.
Miraculously.
Kind of Rusty turns to you. Meaning no offense, but I hope we never see you again.
None taken. Go home, get a decent 8 hours rest. You'll be surprised how much good it does you.
Yeah,
Right.
the strength thing's fine after a nap.
Okay.
Yeah, even an hour will do it.
They begin to. They start to. They look down at the pythons and they go, "Can we borrow that climbing harness, please?"
Yes, you can. Take your time.
They go over to the knotted rope leading down and set up the climbing harness, and three of the 4 of them actually slip on the way down, so they really needed it, but they do make it down.
Maybe they should have had their rest up here first.
Yeah, unhook they seem to be wanting to just get the hell out as quickly
I don't
as
think
they
I'd
can.
stay near the finger plants if I was there
Yeah.
either, so yeah,
The
fair.
finger plants have
yeah, no.
yeah, over the next as I say, the finger plants have already started to wither and fade, curiously.
Mm.
Yeah,
Corzin-
but right now they're still there.
But they are still there, yeah, and they
Nah.
make their way down
Corzin,
and leave.
yeah. Corzin is going to he's going to go over to the window and, seemingly about to slump down, he turns around again and just drags himself back to the spot where his shadow double died and has a look at the tiny bit of residue that fell on the ground.
Apart from some very slight discolorations to the wood where the spots landed, there's almost seeming to be no trace of it. As you can see that there's the sunlight is now filtering in through the through the window, and actually as the sun is rising, like the beam of light slowly moves across the floor, and you just catch one drop of this strange inky blackness on the floor, and then the sunlight touches it and it just fizzles away.
Ooh.
How many of the originals are left now?
One,
One more.
I think.
I mean, logically,
Yeah.
they seem to have been sort of running nests, don't they? So we might have one more nest?
Would seem to make sense.
Yeah. Corzin, where the dick did you find Vera? She's completely insane.
I've only met her a couple of times, but it's not that she's insane, and that's what worries me. It's the stuff that happens around her seems to be insane.
But that's not unusual for us.
Well, I remember there was one time I was... I forget even where I was, but I had an evening's drinking session with her and woke up 400 miles due east.
What?
What? That's weird even for me.
How the fuck does that work?
Evidently she has a means of transportation that is faster than sailing or a fast horse or something. Or
Fucking gnomes.
See, now you're bringing race into it again.
It's a thing. They never stay in one place.
Actually, well, look at it. Look,
I mean,
we just saw there was a freaking rip in the freaking world here. That went to the region knows where.
No, but this would explain a lot, because the thing is, you can't keep a gnome as a slave. Everyone knows that.
Really? Why?
They escape. No one knows how.
Generally, that's what slaves want to do.
No, but they always escape every time. They never stay there. They just... No one knows how it happens. If they can move really far, suddenly this is...
Does Corzin know anything about gnomes that would account for this?
I'm just going to say a flat out no. No check.
All right.
You just don't.
All right, fair enough.
Gnomes are a mystery.
I'd love to know how the fuck they do it.
I mean, gnomes are all over the place, but I don't know that there's any like nations or settlements that are just gnomes, unless there's some underground I don't know about.
Tricky fucking bastards, a lot of them. No, you're quite right. She was helpful. And interesting. I'll give her that.
She's nothing if not interesting.
And on that note...
He just sort of slumps down and underneath the window, like sunlight beating in on him.
Should we take a nap?
Yeah.
Just here.
Actually, I feel fine.
I'm not fine.
Yeah, you actually...
No.
I think my ribs are fucked, to be honest.
Yeah, and as you slump down against the wall, feeling the warm sunlight, which does seem to genuinely begin burning away the chill of this place, you allow yourself to doze. And that's where we're going to take a short break, and we will return probably for quite a short post-interlude session after this, no doubt, important message. And now, a word from our friends over at Party Advantage.
Greetings, listeners. Are you looking to add more D&D fun to your lineup? Then be sure to check out Party Advantage, a D&D 5th edition play podcast featuring 2 campaigns alternating each week. In the Arius adventures, you'll set off into the land of Arius. From the ancient dragon gods that created this world to the rise and fall of various races and civilizations, this land has history that stretches far into times long forgotten. Our heroes find themselves on a journey that will take them to the busy city of gnomes, the gilded halls of the High Elves, and to the deepest depths of the Underdark. Then in the Farwind Saga, you'll travel with our group of anti-heroes for their suspense-filled exploits as they explore the enigmatic continent of Farwind. This is an ancient land lost to the histories of Faerun, where mystery and danger shroud the deep forest, forbidden mountains, and dark mires. Yet every risk offers tantalizing rewards to those brave enough to take them. Will these parties gain the advantage on their next encounter? Find out every Wednesday on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. See you then.
Hello, welcome to the Silken Sail, the best entertainment in Crosswater. You can get your boys, you can get your girls. We even have Belle the sheep for our less discerning customers. Half price off while the city's besailed by shadows. And while you're here, you should like, rate and subscribe to Flintlocks and Fireballs here at the Silken Sail. And welcome back. So, The three of you have taken an hour to rest, and the warmth of the sun and the chance to breathe seems to have helped bring some of the life back into your muscles. You can see it causing, just from enough exposure to sunlight, like the colour has returned to your skin, the blackness in your veins has faded.
Rolling some hit dice,
Yep.
by the way, if it looks okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll a hit die.
Oh, I might roll two.
Because it's
I'm going to
short
roll
rest.
two.
You can roll up to half your hit dice in a short rest.
Oh, okay. Can I roll one? Cool.
Oh, okay. That's
Well, you have
marvelous.
you should have
okay.
4 hit dice, so you can roll
Oh,
2.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know why I thought that there was 2 going mad.
it's plus my
You might
con
have just
because
not
that's
updated the sheet
9.
since.
Possibly. So that's... Okay, so... Okay, that's better, at least.
Is each hit die
affected by
added to by
your
your
consti-
con,
Yeah,
or is it
each
just
individual
the-
one you add your con to.
Right, okay, fine.
My con is
Okay, so
-1.
that's
Are we
9,
doing that?
and-
Yes.
Fuck's sake.
Minimises at 1.
I hate myself.
Constitution. It's not the dump
Okay.
stat.
Yeah.
It's not always a wise dump stat.
You might want to sort that one day.
No, it fits, though,
Yeah.
annoyingly.
But
Okay.
even just
Yeah, a little
slightly.
bit, maybe.
Corzin is feeling not great, but much better than he was.
Yeah. You've taken the time
Um,
to see to Celestia's ribs as well.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to use my
Yes.
healer's kit in order to ensure
Yes,
that she
you
can
both get an extra
regain
D6.
the maximum amount.
An extra D6. But
Yep.
do I roll that or just cause him?
You can roll that.
Cool.
Yeah, you roll
Oh, an
that.
extra 3. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Thank you. Again, Celestia is not a helpful patient. She moves a lot and complains a lot.
So, eventually dragging yourselves up and making your way down out of the building. The streets are clear for the most part. Seems people have had a rough night in these parts. But as you look down to one end, you can see that there is a ragged-looking squad of musketmen that are patrolling down the streets, and they all show signs of shadow draining, much of which it seems to have restored from the time between, because it's been an hour now since dawn came. But yeah, they look like they've been in active combat.
Right.
Alright, I'm going to go up to them and ask him where.
Right, yeah, citizen.
So-
Yeah, sorry. They look like they're barely standing.
It's alright, it's alright. Just let us know. We've dealt
We
with
just
these
killed
things
18.
before. Where, yeah.
Yes.
Was that many?
Yes,
Right,
it
of the
was.
region. And he sort of looks at you
With
as,
help, may I add, but still.
as if trying to realise. He seems to kind of peering at you as if trying to ascertain the truth, but looks at the state of you as well. A little confusedly at the 2 hoof marks on Celestia's clothing
Yeah. It,
and the frost damage, but yeah. I am sorry. Our squad, we've taken out about maybe 8 or 10 of those things thus far, but we've been talking with the others. Everybody's been up all night. Thank the Regent. We got a tip off from the editor of the Sentinel. He's pretty in with the city council, and they, on top of some support from the church, we've been patrolling. And you can still hear there's the occasional sort of vague. There's the sounds of distant wails here and there, but by and large, things have mostly begun to calm down now that the active attacks seem to have stopped. It got easier once dawn came. They seemed to get a lot weaker, and we were able to polish off the last of them. It seems that we'll be spending much of the rest of the day seeking out any last sighting spots, trying to root them out where we can find them. But you say if you took out 18 of them, sounds like a big...
This was a nest. There should be, maybe, hopefully, Regent Willing 1 more.
Order agent.
If we can find that, then we can
Don't
put an
suppose
end
you
to
have any
this.
information about where that might be. We're happy to help you.
We have been up all night just fighting these things. I'll take that. Thank you for that information, though. And they do actually ask you to show them where the nest was, and if you're happy to do that.
Like, we can give them an account of what happened.
Yeah.
I think minus the nightmare.
Yeah.
Let's not
Yeah.
even bother with
Yeah.
that, because that is too
Not
much.
By the time you
information.
get back up
Not
there and
relevant.
show them it as well, the bone plants have completely disappeared. There's just a strange dark marks on the floor now.
Yeah. And I guess if we're being sensible, we would give them all the information about where we've ruled out, where we've looked, what we've seen,
Okay,
other
you
ones
give them
that
a
we've
thorough
killed. Like,
report.
let's be honest, you know.
And at this point,
Yeah.
they kind of go, all right, look, this is pretty intense. Do you mind coming back to the castle with us and repeating all of this to the watch commander?
Yeah, sure. I'm trying to think, OC, if we've done anything in this town. I don't think we have. I think we're all right.
Not
You've
anything
not been
illegal.
caught doing anything illegal.
Have we been?
Yeah, we've done illegal stuff.
We did explode a horse.
Actually,
But
yeah,
they
that's
didn't.
true.
They didn't actually put it together that it was doing anything specific, like suspicious.
Yeah.
So I think we should be all right.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
To speed time along, you are brought to Stoneglaive Castle in the centre of the Duke's Ward, where you are very quickly shown to a middle-aged halfling with sandy hair, and you notice actually burn scars all over his hands in his captain's uniform, who greets you all. Hello, hi. My name is Watch Captain Mondaine, Pepin Mondaine. It's a pleasure to meet you all. Tell me everything you heard. And you tell
him everything.
You tell him everything. Yeah.
Except for the
We do.
nightmare.
Except for the
mostly.
nightmare.
And except for the fact that Corzin vomited them, because I feel like that would be bad.
Yes, you leave that one out.
No, well, yeah,
I'm going to stay
irrelevant at
quite
this point.
quiet and stay at the back because
Yeah.
I'm a dwarf.
And so after all this, he sort of nods. He has his assistant take notes. Very well. I thank you on behalf of Crosswater for your efforts. We will continue to search through these areas and root out any other nests we find.
Brilliant. Say, let us know if you want to. If you find something, we can probably help you out.
He gives you a nod. Ordinarily, I would not involve civilians in this matter, but you have proven yourselves capable.
Also, this is fucked.
Indeed. We will remain vigilant. Thank you for everything you have done. Gives a nod to the three of you. Well, I'll see what else I can do about this. I regret that there is little that I can do to offer you reward beyond deploying my men and women to take care of this problem, but you have my personal gratitude.
Thank you.
He nods to the three of you.
Thank you very much. I think reward enough for us will be being able to live in a city without
Being
fear
able
of
to
these
sleep
things
would be
again.
nice. Also, thank you to you for all the ones that you've killed.
Perhaps there is something. And he writes a small chitty out on a piece of paper and passes it to you. This should allow you to requisition another dozen flasks of holy water on the city's budget, as well as three vials of holy oil.
That is so good. Like,
Oh,
I just turn to him and go,
yes, that is a...
"You might be my favourite person today. Thank you."
Thank you very much, mademoiselle. And I am particularly pleased to see that you have arrived here in advance. I have received reports that the Ebon Guard will be, the first parts of the Ebon Guard will be arriving within the next hour or so. You could head over to Grenville Square if you want to catch them as they arrive.
What does this mean, like OC?
You have no idea.
I think Corzin might
Ebon
have an
Guard.
idea.
Is he looking at me and saying
He is looking at
this?
you specifically, Celestia.
I'm going to ask you a very cryptic question. You're going to know what I mean.
Yes.
Does this mean anything to me from home?
The name doesn't, but you could put that together if you wanted.
Do we think I like?
You conceivably
you, as DM,
you
do you
could.
think I
Yeah,
would?
like based. You are smart enough to
People
have worked
mentioned
this out.
before.
Okay, but did I not know what they were called?
They've said
No.
it a few times.
No,
and it's
they were not
always
called
about
that
you.
where you were down there.
Right. Fuck. Celestia visibly... You see the cogs turn, and you see her take a breath, and she's obviously, like, freaking out, but trying to look normal. Right, thank you.
Can I roll an insight check to see how much she's
Yes.
freaking out?
Go on, I'll do the same. Ah, I'm going to notice. Oh no, wait, she's got.
Oh,
a good perception.
I'm...
12.
Yeah, I'm
a
going to roll
check
deception and
up
see
to
how
you
I
with
do.
possibly with
With
disadvantage. I'm
disadvantage,
gonna say.
this is a shock, so I feel
Yeah.
like that's fair. 18.
What's my modifier? Oh, I've got a modifier, so that's going to be more than that. Insight. Dirty 20.
Corzin?
Oh, I
Okay.
rolled a
Corzin,
12.
you can see that Celestia seems a little nonplussed by this, but Scamp, you can see Celestia.
She's freaking out.
Yeah.
Not going to
For
say
his
no.
part, Watch Captain
not gonna
Monday
say
doesn't
anything
seem to
either.
notice
I
anything
kind of
either.
keep it together for a minute and go, okay, thank you. We're going to go and rest because we're a bit injured. So
Of course.
thank you very much for the stuff, and good luck.
And to you, if you find anything else, please do inform us. We'll see what we can do.
Mm.
What time of day is it
It is
now?
now
in-game?
about 9 in the morning.
Mm.
Okay.
Right.
Right. If we rest now, it'll be dark when we.
I'm going to turn to you.
If you rest now, it'll be about maybe 5 o'clock by the time you get up. So it'll be just last
Like
hour.
a long rest.
Yeah, if you long rested.
I think long resting
Yeah.
now somewhere hard to find would be good. Let's do that. Should we go to the Grimani's?
Yeah, probably good.
So what's the plan come evening though? We just because we won't be able to find a nest.
Well, we may have got some new information by then. We could go back to either the captain of the guard here, or we could follow on. Like, we found the previous nest by working systematically through the city. If we move into the university area, perhaps that's one of the only other places that we haven't
Yeah, the
been
university we haven't
looking for
been.
them actively.
Where else haven't we been?
Victor's
We
Grove.
haven't been to Victor's Grove. Very good point. We could do that.
But pretty much we've eliminated Spinner's
Weaver's
End.
Ward we've done,
the-
haven't we?
Yeah, you just did that.
Yeah,
Good.
that was Olymp's Nest. We know there weren't any.
So there's
the Glazes.
Cypress.
Cypress
Duke's
was where
Ward.
you found the granary.
Oh, okay, so Cypress, we've actually done a nest there already. Cool, so not Cypress. So we've got Victor's Grove or the Glazers Quarter or the Duke's Ward, as far as I can tell. I've been crossing them off as we go along, because it's the easiest way
Yeah.
to do it.
Now the Duke's Ward just seems unlikely to me because that's right where all the other soldiers are going to be. If there was a nest there, surely they would have found that one. Surely.
Maybe, yeah.
If we leave that one for now, and if it is there, then fine.
I mean, should
but,
we, like, in terms of, like, resting and shit, is there a way we can rest and still be out when the sun is? We can't really, can we? We should probably just go straight through. Then again, we're all
Well,
fucked,
if
so-
there is a nest in Victor's Grove, and we can get back there for like 5:30, we're gonna be getting back more or less as the shadows are leaving. Maybe we'll run into a few.
Yeah, you have a point.
If we can find it by then.
Yeah.
And in fact, if we're going to do that, then we might as well go back to Cypress Key because that's where the Charlie's Regret is.
No,
we'll be
I'd
closer.
really.
But we can't go on the ship. The ship's in dry dock.
I think we'd be better off at the Grimani's.
Okay, it's just
I know,
further.
but it's
That's
more
all.
tucked away.
Is there?
All
We
right.
could just find an inn and buy a room.
Yeah, either way.
What was the name of that inn that the captain and V? was
Captain
staying
V
at?
aren't actually staying at an inn. They have rented out a house near the Cypress Key.
Oh, okay.
Being as they wanted a secure location to keep their ransom prisoners in.
Makes sense.
Right. Still like the Grimani idea the
We went
best.
there. Yeah, but it,
All right, let's
it
go
adds a
there.
lot of walking time, but it's probably the easiest.
I mean, is the?
I mean,
is
it's actually,
the,
you're right in the centre of the city, so it's equidistant to everywhere right now.
But
True,
leaving there
true.
to get to the.
Is the
Union
brass
Camp-
lantern
It's
any
about
closer?
it's in New Glazer's ward.
Oh, we could go there. That's slightly closer. That's considerably closer.
It's actually about the
Yeah.
same distance to Victor's Grove, because either way you've got. But yeah.
It's closer for now.
Yeah.
Okay. As all right then, you make your way out of the castle through Castle Square Market. There is a familiar voice. He seems to be doing a different round today. From one of the people in Castle Square. Get across water, Sentinel!
I love him so much.
Release your old streets to fight shadow menace. Stay indoors and near light. Get across water, Sentinel!
Oh, he's so great.
Actually, it might be worth buying one just to see if there's been any further
Okay,
developments.
you pay two copper pieces. Oh, good to see three of you again.
I'll pay
Yeah,
the 2
and
copper pieces.
looking at it, you can see that. So the sub headline for today is election success and paid as March for new mayor. But
Might read about that later.
But yes, it seems that following his personal scare, Howard Blackwell, the editor of the Sentinel, has written a scathing editorial piece on the failures of the militia to guard against the against this shadowing incursion, and urges them to respond with all due force as much as possible. He demands nothing less than constant patrols all night until this threat is squashed once and for all. However, in terms of information about sightings, there's been very little new that you haven't. It's mostly repetitions of the incidents that you caused, and a few sightings within Weaver's Ward and Spinner's End, which have since been, covered, as it were. As you make your way out, you actually...
Sorry, knocking the DM screen over.
all
Apologies
right.
for the audio weird from that.
Yep. As you make your way back down towards the brass lantern,
Sorry, this fucking
Sorry.
DM screen is having a rebellion, listeners. We do apologise.
you do have to make your way... Sorry, I'll just do that.
just
Oh, it's resting on a pen.
that's what's
why.
happening.
Yeah.
Sorry, listeners. Weird rustling just happened to
Yeah.
your ears. We apologise.
So as you make your way back, you actually go. The easiest way is to go along the main street, through the Glazers Quarter, past Iron Ward, through to the New Glazers Ward, and as you're going through the Iron Ward, give me a perception check, please.
Me? Just
Anyone?
Me.
All of us?
Cool.
Eight.
11.
No, 12. Sorry.
11 and 12. You hear the sound of horses clopping along, and Celestia, are you still wearing your slightly less?
I didn't say I took it off.
Okay,
so
you're
we're
still
going
wearing
to say that.
your cloak to hide your incredibly snazzy, fashionable clothing. And yeah, so you see entering the steel square is a column of mounted troops. You can see that. Thank you.
Oh, Sam, master. Yes.
You can see that they are riding horses which look pretty worn, but more worn from recent running than extended running. You would peg these ones who've probably been ridden fairly hard for about an hour or so, but not necessarily that much longer. And you can see that there are about 20 total of these figures, led by one at the front. They are dressed in beautiful armor, and I'm going to say Corzin and Scamp. You can make an intelligence check, Scamp with advantage because of your past.
Okay. Intelligence. That's a 12 again.
Corzin, you can see the craftsmanship resplendent in the armor and equipment that these figures are carrying. Scamp, you recognise these as dwarf-forged steel breastplates. They are about the pinnacle of metallurgy without going into using magical materials.
I assume they're familiar to me.
Yeah. And although these have not been done, these have been not done in the traditional sort of quite sort of straight lines, geometric patterns, and not repeating knot patterns of classical dwarven armor, but instead have been forged with a slightly more flowing aesthetic to them. And you can see that there is a repeated spiderweb aesthetic done over, molded into the decorative portions of the armor. Beneath they wear soft black leathers on their arms and legs, and you can see that there are this column of 20 charcoal skinned drow riding forwards. They have cavalry helmets again of dwarf forged steel. You can see by their sides there are two probably two-handed, it's hard to say if it's two-handed or no, it'd be one-handed cavalry sabers, again with a spiderwork motif and made of dwarf-forged steel. What look to be steel longbows, not like a straight, well, not longbows in fact, but compound bows with camshafts on them and steel wiring, as well as a series of metal arrows in a quiver, and what appear to be forged to the same quality muskets, also strapped to their backs.
Ooh. I'm going to do something, but before I do, any crests that I can see?
There is no... yes, actually. There is... on the saddlebags of the horses, there is stitched into the side the crest of the royal house of Brighthall.
Okay, cool.
Which I believe
and then I'm going to
I'm
going to run down an alleyway.
Yeah. Okay, give me a stealth check.
It's not bad actually. 17.
Okay. You duck out of sight, actually fast enough that you, as you you sort of linger back for a moment. So Corzin and Scamp, with your passive perceptions, you don't even notice. You just say Celestia seems to pull behind for a moment and then is just gone. The pair of you see them ride up to the front of the Church of St. Bridget, where the lead of and you can see that this column of 20, there's actually two riders who aren't drow. There is a halfling in the robes of a cleric, possibly actually also of St. Bridget, yes, a Regency cleric, and a tall human man who is dressed in sort of the slightly flashy but slightly flashier cut military uniform of a mage in active service to the Bright Hallish military, so the same sort of pale, sort of cyan blue as the others, but made of a nicer material, dyed with a slightly more expensive dye. They are riding slightly behind the lead rider, who is a female drow. She dismounts, and you see that she has 2 heavy panniers either side of her horse. Leather, essentially leather saddlebags.
Okay, cool.
And she pulls from the saddlebag, from the pannier, a large steel box, which looks like it's about the right size to contain maybe a pomelo, which for those of you not familiar is, imagine something about halfway in, that's like a grapefruit, but is close, a little larger than a honeydew melon, or like a small watermelon. Yeah, in terms of size.
Okay.
And several of the others dismount as well, and they, while others remain at the front holding a guard, and they move into the church. Seems they are conducting a delivery of some sort.
Ah, that makes sense.
That would be the daylight thing, won't it?
Possibly, yeah.
They said it would arrive today, and they mentioned this guard before.
The Ebon Guard. I hadn't put it together. The hell?
Really? Every time anyone said it, they've looked at Celestia in really pointed fashion.
Celestia has run off down an alleyway.
Yeah.
So she can't respond.
So, about this point...
Talking about which,
Wait,
where the hell is she?
Where is she?
Right, let's go on. I've got a couple of questions.
So Celestia, I rolled a wisdom save, and Celestia is having a panic attack down the alleyway.
Okay,
She's
I
sort of
walked
curled
down
up
the
in a little
alleyway,
ball, trying to breathe, and not doing well.
Okay. I in a weird change of events, is she actually like in a
not
fetal
like
position?
lying on the floor, she's like crouched down sort of thing. Like head between the
Okay.
knees, trying to get
So,
some sense into herself kind of thing.
Okay, so Corzin, who is now about at head height with her, puts a hand on her arm gently and says, Hey, what's wrong?
Well,
Do you have history with them?
You got
There's
really
only-
freaked out when
there's
you
only
worked
one
it out.
place that trains those types of soldiers, so I can't be seen by any of them while they're here.
Understood.
Okay.
What are drow like that doing on the surface,
Whatever
though?
anyone asks them to.
Are they mercenaries?
Think mercenaries and then times it by 10 in terms of blind loyalty.
Oh,
They don't.
alright.
To train soldiers like
Expensive
very
mercenaries,
expensive
then.
mercenaries, to train soldiers like that, you basically strip them of every original thought until they're just obedient and until they're better than everybody else at everything, basically.
Okay. So we need to stay away.
Yeah,
from
we
them.
don't want to go near them, and if there's a chance, I mean, I don't want it to get to this point, but if there's a chance that they come for us, we surrender because we're not going to win.
Are they going to be looking for
Maybe,
you specifically, or is it just anyone above ground who shouldn't?
Maybe for me specifically, a little bit.
Who the hell did you piss off?
Bad people.
I gathered that, but, like, seriously, bad people with deep pockets,
Yeah.
it seems.
They do seem to go together, those things.
Yeah, they don't really have pockets so much as like vaults. Just imagine money not ending ever. That's kind of where we're at. Hence
All
why
right.
they can afford
Well-
to train those types of people for, 7 years at a time.
Alright, well,
Right, so we stay away from them, and we hope they take care of the shadow problem too.
Yeah, and we hope that they're just here to deliver a light orb. Because if they're just
Well,
here for
yeah.
that, that's, I suppose, okay, so long as they don't see me.
Let's go have a nap somewhere
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah, somewhere far away from Grenville Square.
Right, well, I think we're heading back to the Grimarnies,
I
aren't
think
we?
that might be a good idea because they're at the other end of the
Yeah.
town. I didn't want to say it before because I didn't want to worry you, but that's why I wanted to go there. Also, they're in, a factory and
Okay.
hopefully won't be found by anyone.
Alright. Now, Celestia, I've not pried into your past and I don't intend to start now, but if they do come for you, are they going to be going after us as well because we're with you?
I mean, I don't
Be honest
know.
now.
I really don't. It's hard to know how far the
Sit.
people who are looking for me would go. They might actually no. They might use you against me if they realise that we're friends. That's a favourite trick of theirs. But
For someone who's being chased by scary people, you have not been subtle.
you'd be surprised.
Well, maybe, and it's entirely a moot point at where we are right now, but maybe she's doing exactly what they don't expect her to do.
True. Maybe.
But yeah,
If we surrender to them, what are they going to do? Are they going to kill
possibly. But
us? Then we
if
don't surrender to
they
them.
do.
Because you die on your feet.
If they do, it would be to get to me. So if they see no use for you, then I don't know. It depends what mood they're in. They might kill you, or they might just.
I don't like my life being in the hands of somebody else's mood.
Don't fight them. Run.
That we can do.
I know it's not your favourite thing, but
Well, hopefully it won't come to that.
crossed. Fingers crossed. They're just here to deliver the day globe, and then they go away. That would be ideal. But for now, let's run away and Scamp. I might get you to disguise me if we come out again in the next couple of days.
Okay.
You were
I'm
good
not
last
very
time.
good at it though. Well.
Right.
We can
Yeah.
try.
Okay.
Let's move away from here. Sharpish.
Alright.
The three of you pick up, you help Celestia up, and you make your way quickly back to the safety of the Grimani compound. And that is where we will pick up next time. Thank you all very much for playing. Thank you all very much for listening. And farewell from all of us here at Flintlocks and Fireballs. Fair seas and natural 20s.
Tenebral resistance we face around a tear in time and space.
When victory is won harsh and hard, you'll fear the coming of the guard.
So gather your muskets, gather your spears, we'll plunder the shores of Calcinea. No kraken, storm or spell we fear, so come and sail with us, my dear.